understanding, obviously things don't go according to plan. We're going to cut straight back into the venue and see where we're at. Thank you so much for your patience once again. This is the Boulderfest 2021 live stream presented by K2. Quick shout out to all of our sponsors before we get started.
Just scrolling across the screen now.
As you can see there, yeah. So we've got Wayward Brewing Co. Providing us with delicious brews. Thank you very much. We've got Scarpa, and we've got Rock Therapy Brisbane, who just constantly fixes every broken climber with their rehabilitation. Thank you so much. We've also got Pinnacle Sports, Black Diamond, Cliff Bar, Scent, and Climbing Anchors. So thank you to all our amazing sponsors who make these events happen. Hopefully the quality will stay nice and crisp for you viewing at home, so we can make this the best experience possible for you.
So hopefully we'll cut back to the venue soon.
Hopefully, yeah. Let's see what the action is in the venue, if we can.
There we are.
All right. So it looks like the MCs have just been keeping the people busy with rock, paper, scissors, apparently. Oh, with Jack.
Scissors, paper, rock therapy, I believe the game was.
That is the game, yeah.
It is a great drink, Magic Mark.
Fantastic drink. Lots of happy comments coming through the YouTube and Facebook live streams there. So once again, thank you very much. Let us know if there's anything throughout the show that we can do to improve. But yeah, hopefully we can get into the action nice and soon.
So I guess just as we're waiting for our first climbers to come out, the format we have tonight, it will see each of our climbers on their first boulders. They'll have 4 minutes each with that plus time we talked about earlier. And the climbers will be scored based on how they progress through the boulder. So in this format, a top is worth the most. So if the climber manages to reach the top, control the last hold, that's worth the most, followed by a zone. So a zone is kind of a midway point. Just adds an extra element of splitting. And then we go back to attempts. Lieutenant Nuggets, they'll be starting climbing very soon.
Hopefully very soon. I think the MCs are just sort of finishing up, geeing up the crowd, throwing out some merch. So we should see our competitors coming to the stage very, very soon. Phoebe's looking very animated.
Phoebe's classic Boulderfest shout out.
Very happy to have Phoebe being able to come up from Canberra and join us for the event. It just wouldn't feel like Boulderfest. There's a lot of elements that sort of make Boulderfest what it is.
Yeah, Phoebe is a crucial element.
Phoebe is a crucial ingredient. The other one, which unfortunately, we're not able to have, is all our interstate competitors. So, we're really appreciative of the fact that we are still able to have this event in any capacity. It's been quite a stressful, I'd say, last few months. Sort of, battling with the uncertainty of, the current situation. But,
really right up until our most recent lockdown.
Absolutely. So it looks like we're about to get underway with Boulder 1. So we should be seeing Matt Cochran out on the men's boulder, Flora Frost on the women's boulder, and B. Maloney on the gender-inclusive boulder. So 3 boulders running at the same time, 3 categories. We should be able to come to a 3-way split screen so you can see all the action at the same time.
There we go.
There we go. Beautiful. So B. Maloney's already up onto the zone. I'm assuming this is their flash attempt. And Matthew is just gearing up for the first move on the screen boulder here. Just misses the toe hook catch. And Flora is working her way across the ice cream cones here. She's taken the zone. And just comes off there. That looks like a bit of a tenuous position there.
I believe that's a zone for B, definitely. Possibly Flora.
B is just trying to figure out this top position here so they can match on that top jib.
Oh, good commitment.
Oh, and that was so close.
Not quite.
So if you're not able to see it from the live stream, the top hold on that gender-inclusive boulder is like a downward facing, I guess like a screw-on edge.
Yeah.
So going to it dynamically, very hard to control that position. B looks like they were, trying to figure out sort of a slow stance to work their way over. So hopefully they can get back up there pretty soon and get the top. Matt looks like he's still trying to work out the first move of this screen.
There we go. Fantastic.
Beautiful movement.
And Flora has, I would believe, gotten the zone. B
Very-
is looking...
Very risky climbing on that men's boulder there. B back in that stem position.
And they really have to find... There it is.
There it is. Nice
Fantastic.
controlled. Fantastic. Second attempt, I believe that was for B.
Yep.
Looking
And
sharp.
they made that boulder look great.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
I know there was...
a beautiful profile there. It's sort of like a slight slabby corner. Nice and gentle way to start off the competition. But, you know, B, I think this is their second ever competition. The first one being Boulder Guild, where they were in the finals as well. So, yeah, probably still a little bit nervous, but fantastic to see a top in the second attempt.
Flora looking like
trouble.
she's struggling to use that zone. That hold is pretty round, and that wall, as Pat was saying earlier, is quite steep. It's probably about 25 degrees. So as good as those holds and those volumes look, they're definitely a bit of work.
Definitely require a bit of power.
Yeah,
Matt just seeming to not quite be able to repeat the risky move of this. There we go.
He figured out the method really fast.
Yeah, definitely. And then we can see, I believe he took the zone on his previous attempt and then just slipped off. So he's definitely got the zone there.
And that left foot is the tiniest jib. It's
probably
minuscule.
Commercially available, I would say.
Yeah.
Now we can see the second part of this boulder here. It's just a light little committing stand up. Oh, he's going to try and do that statically. Oh, my God.
And these volumes that he's standing on, really shallow.
Very shallow, yeah. And it's sort of at that angle where you're not quite sure if you're going to be able to stand on them or whether you need to sort of like throw yourself up over the volumes and just sort of snatch for the top hold.
Flora starting facing the crowd. That is always a fan favorite. Whenever we can get climbers facing the audience.
Classic choice by the Boulderfest final setters there. Shout out to the setting team, by the way, who have been working very hard this week. From sort of Monday, they've been, obviously setting the Pump Fest round, which is 70 boulders, and then also this finals round.
Yeah, so we'll go through. Come on, Matt, looking great.
Let's just see if Matt can square away this first boulder here.
And he's really dialed in that start sequence.
Absolutely.
Very quickly. And that finish hold, you can't quite see it on the screen. It's quite a good edge, but it's completely blocked. So you have to be really precise in that stand up. Looks like we're in plus time now. So this is one of those moments. We do apologize. We don't have a clock on the screen.
Yeah, sorry about that, James Lee. I'll see if we can maybe occasionally cut to a timer if we're able to, but we'll just sort of have to go by the looks on the screen. So Flora is in her +4, and there she comes off. So unfortunately, no top for Flora or Matt in that first round, but B. Maloney absolutely smashing it.
So we've reset the clock to that 4 minutes. Oh, there we go. We're back.
Oh, back to us. Hello. So great first round, first boulder.
Yeah.
We got 5 more competitors in each category coming out. So hopefully we'll see, a few more tops, I would assume.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I guess, Pat, you had a big part in setting the men's round. I believe you had set the men's round. Are you happy with how that boulder's climbed so far?
I mean, it's
after one competitor?
It's very funny. You spend like so much time questioning every single choice when you've set a finals round, and just seeing someone come out and not just walk up the boulder is great, and do moves is fantastic, and getting very close to a top is like that makes the heart rate go down, as well as delicious wayward beer.
It's helping me a lot right now.
So I'm very excited to see not just for the men's round but for each category sort of how the round plays out. We had obviously myself head setting for the men's final team, working with James Douglas, Blake Stringer, and Glenn Hayford from Townsville. We also had Jane Engler in charge of the gender inclusive round, and she was working with some of our urban climb route setters, Robbie Smilly from Victoria, as well as Blair Campbell, one of our locals. Ganya Cott doing a fantastic job head setting the women's finals, alongside with May McKenzie, Daniel Gordon, and Mehdi Nusrati. And here we can see I believe that was
Sam
Sam
Lavender.
Lavender just flying up that green boulder.
Fast top, I would assume his first attempt. And Liz Castelli
And Liz
on the women's
Castelli
boulder.
running up it as well.
Oh, I can use my phone if you want. Yeah.
Two very quick tops there. Fantastic to see. We've got Corey Wakefield working their way up on the slab here. I'm not sure if we caught the start of this attempt, but I'm assuming this is the flash attempt.
Oh, not quite for Corey.
Oh, just a bit too sudden movement on the finish part of that boulder there. Ruby Chapman, the Pumpfest boulders will be there this week.
And the finals boulders also.
And the finals
So
as well.
if you wanna come in and have a go at all of these finals boulders, they will all be there.
Yeah, if you want to come test yourself against, just an incredibly stacked finals field, absolutely jump on the wall and see what you can muster.
Yeah.
Corey back up to the zone here, looking fairly confident on the traverse here. Maybe it was just a slight foot slip.
Yeah. And we can't quite see in this shot, but that volume is really skatey.
Quite skating.
So keeping your weight over it, keeping calm, keeping composed is huge. And they've topped.
Composed.
Fantastic
Work, Corey.
We have
go.
a clock up in the corner. There we go.
How good is this live stream
It
team?
was great.
You just say stuff into the microphone and it pops up on the screen.
So I believe we won't be waiting out the time. We should see our next competitors out pretty much immediately.
And unfortunately, we can't get any music.
Feel free to sing to yourselves.
Sadly, our voices are, the most melodic thing that you're probably going to hear in this live stream. Do you know any good tunes or
Just put some Darude on.
The Roots and Stomp? Always a classic. Yeah. We did ask a couple competitors what their hype up songs were, and we obviously can't play them or sing them.
Nobody wants that.
No, well, maybe some people. I'm not sure if copyright laws come into effect if I just sing the song.
I don't think it'd be a close enough representation of the song.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Ooh, stacks on.
Thanks for that, Al. Let's cut back to the action. And next up, who we got? We've got
Satoshi, by the looks of it.
Satoshi
Ogawa.
Ogawa, the springiest man I've ever seen in my life. I believe we also have Isabel Battle coming out for the women's category. Yep. And we've also got Claire Groom coming out for the gender inclusive round.
On their first boulder, and we're told in their first ever finals.
First ever Boulderfest and first ever finals.
That's amazing. So I can imagine Claire will be pretty nervous, but
also stoked.
Yeah, stoked and not showing the nerves. Climbing really well.
I'm going to assume that Satoshi is just going to fly up this thing.
I reckon that's a fair bet. Oh, Ben.
So solid. Isabel looking very strong in the shoulders here to spam between those two cones. Things twice.
Unfortunately, we can't
over to a toe hook.
We can't get the venue audio. Sorry, O'Neill. Copyright laws don't allow us
due to the music playing inside the venue, we're unfortunately not able to stream any audio from the venue. Satoshi just hesitating a bit there on the second half. Isabel still on, looking quite strong and confident through the little edges here. And nice little bump to the second last hold.
That last hold is pretty good. So if she keeps nice and calm, there we go.
Looking very solid. So confident. Great work. I believe we had a top from Claire, which we may have missed. So now we're just focusing in on Satoshi.
Look at that, 2 angles.
Oh. Such a funny move, right? Like, they make it look so easy, but repeating it with confidence, really hard to do.
Yeah.
You might hear us mention terms like risk when we say boulders are very risky. That's generally referring to the chance of you sort of dropping a move or falling off rather than, risk as in like danger of hurting yourself.
Yeah.
So, as the headset of the men's round, this first boulder, we definitely aimed for a lot of risk in terms of what we sort of wanted to present to the competitors. The movements themselves, you've had a feel yourself, Al. The movements aren't like crazy hard. So all 6 competitors are definitely able to do this.
100% capable.
But stringing all three sort of components of the bowler together, you got to be really, really focused.
And what makes these competitors so good is they can do these moves fast and they can replicate them. So we see Satoshi now.
Ooh, trying for a slightly different method.
Yeah.
He's on a slightly slabby sort of profile there, and he's just sort of overcommitted to that foot. He's still got 1 minute and 15 seconds left on the clock, and he obviously can pull on at the last second. Once the timer runs out, if he is on the wall, he is allowed to finish his attempt. So that's the beauty of the 4+ format, as you mentioned with the 4-point sit start.
Yeah.
You can just like jump on, sit down, like rest for a minute, compose yourself, and hopefully have like a last ditch effort.
And we had a great moment last Boulderfest with Sam Bowman on the first boulder in a very similar situation. Topped it.
Oh.
There we go. Just showing how hard that move is to replicate. He topped that boulder after the time, and that was then the deciding boulder. Okay, that was the one he won on. So a lot can happen in that 4+.
Yeah, I remember Emma Grace had a similar experience on I believe it was the first women's bowler at the Milton Boulderfest.
There we
She
go.
was just like, here we go. Now,
Satoshi just trying to get some weight through that tiny jib.
Tiny jib.
And we can see him skipping the zone there. So the reason he's not using that zone hold is because he took it earlier. So he's had that zone. He doesn't need to use it every attempt. He'll have been scored for that when he first used it.
Satoshi still going for this sort of mentally slab version of the beta, which I don't believe anyone has tried in the testing period of this climb.
And his time is out, so this is his last attempt. He will have heard.
It's
he will
all or
have heard a
nothing for
buzzer.
Satoshi Ogawa. Let's see what. Oh no! Just a bit of a footstep on the volume. Oh my god.
So unfortunately, you guys can't hear the timer, but the competitors will have heard a beep when that time ran out. So he would have known then that was his last shot. So the pressure would have been through the roof for him.
It's hot in here.
So looking at our results. Our results after our first few competitors.
Let's see if we can bring them up on the screen, hey?
So in our gender inclusive round, we have Claire Groom with a flash. So great effort. B. Maloney in second and Corey Wakefield in third, all really close together in that gender inclusive category. Our female round, technology is amazing. Isabel Battle and Liz Caskelli with a flash. Flora was given that zone on her first attempt. So everything really tight there. And Sam Lavender, I believe, flash. So we'll look at our men's results. I apologize. Flash and top and zone in 2. Satoshi flashing the zone. And Matt with the zone in 8. So hopefully we'll get those scores up for you a bit later on.
Pretty nice split currently across all 3 categories. Slight tie for the women, but
Early days.
So far, playing out really fantastically. Loving all the different like methods that start coming out as you see people trying to find their own way of solving all these problems. Let's see what happens in the next round. If we can cut back to the action in the gym. Just gonna enjoy this Wayward while we wait.
The raspberry vice beer. It's good.
Delicious. If
Here we go.
Sours, highly recommended.
So Corey Batten on the men's boulder. Argo, I believe we missed their top. But looking stoked, so I'm assuming all done.
Looking pretty
Cheers
happy,
to the
so
crowd.
I would assume that's a top.
Sarah Reynolds also in their first Boulderfest final on the female.
Securing the
female
zone
bowler.
there. Just getting really intimate with that big bubble thing. Throwing the foot back to the cone.
Big push.
Oh, looking so contortion-y.
Now these holds she's going for are quite good, but the angle of the wall is
It's
so
basically
steep.
It's basically upside down, like over your head. Like the underside of the volume, adding that depth to the wall, you're grabbing like a tiny little in-cut edge above your head and having to work your way up. So just requiring a lot of strength from these ladies in the first round of competition. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock. And Corey Batten, Mr. Pikachu himself, hoping to, I guess he won't flash this bowler anymore, but he may, I'm trying to think of another Pikachu move.
Yeah. I got nothing.
Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt. Pikachu.
Hopefully having a I got nothing.
Sarah, I know, was stoked to make this finals.
Pokemon.
She posted on her story. I think it's her fourth Boulderfest.
Come on,
And her first finals. Corey trying a different method.
Corey obviously just like not impressed with toe hooks at all.
Not believing in the toe hook.
And it's just like not interested. Nah, I'm just gonna jump for it.
And trying this boulder earlier, the toe hook is really precise, so it's easy to give up on it early. Sarah again taking that zone hold.
Come on, Corey.
Ooh.
So it looks kind of like he's trying to do like a jump around the slight sort of angle change there. Just latch the slope and kick the volume to stop his momentum. But I mean, that sloper has absolutely zero return on it. It's
completely flat.
Barely wrappable. So I think
close.
we spent quite a bit of time sort of picking the right hold that you couldn't just latch.
There we go. He's done it.
You just got to get busy, Corey.
So he takes the zone. He'll be paid that probably in 5 or 6 attempts, I would say.
Yeah, we can check that later. Now he just has to keep his composure for this last move. 33 seconds on the clock. And it's just it's not quite a jump. It's just a very dynamic step up onto that top volume. And you got to latch that finish hold, which is, probably about a pad deep.
Yeah.
Would you say pad and a half?
But you are flying at it. You're
coming at it quite fast. And it's, as you said earlier, Al, it's slightly blocked off. So you have to be precise.
Now, Corey has 10 seconds left. He'll know that. So hopefully we'll see him get on the wall.
And he just has to execute this perfectly at this stage.
2, 1. So Corey's last attempt at this boulder.
Sarah's last chance as well, slapping over to the zone.
Oh, not quite Corey.
Unfortunately, not finding that position. Throws his arms up. What's with this toe hooking business?
So still just the one top on this M1.
Come on, Sarah. Let's see a top here.
And she is fighting. She'll want this.
She found a really cool little toe hook sort of around that ice cream cone volume and did like this crazy drop knee, which really helps her sort of pull her weight into the wall and get underneath the feature. Yeah. Oh, I'm hiding in front of the camera now. Dave, you got to warn me before you cut back to me, man. You can't just do that. All right.
6 diminished scale. Great name. Jesse Ruffini is not out yet. I believe he's next. He should be out next.
We'll try and make sure that we cut back to the action nice and early so don't miss the tops of the starts of the climbs. Let's see what else people are saying. He gave it a quick attack, but missed a flash. Hopefully he can still tackle it.
Pokemon.
Fantastic. All right, you took the words out of my mouth.
Must have been while you were kissing me. For all the Meatloaf fans out there.
I don't mind a bit of Meatloaf.
All right, so we will get the start of these boulders. So on the men's we have Jesse Ruffini.
Who we got?
Definitely a crowd favorite, Big Dog Ruffini.
The beer is definitely kicking in.
Jess Painter. Boulderfest is her comp. She rarely misses the finals, and she just always pulls it out. And gender inclusive, Nick Rezi? Rezi?
Not too sure, unfortunately.
Sorry, Nick.
Sorry if we butchered your name, Nick.
Jesse cruising the first move.
Cruising it. Looking super confident.
And Nick also looking super confident. Really composed, foot straight up.
Super
and Nick
solid.
And Jesse,
Well done,
not
Nick.
quite.
Oh, and just misses that top.
So if it is your first time watching, Jesse did tap that last hold, tap that top hold, but he didn't control it. So he does need to grab it and show that he's controlled it with 2 hands.
I believe it's 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's like the
unspoken
general rule. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, the judges are just looking for control. So the competitor's not falling away. They're not, slipping. They have a very, very clear control of hold.
It's usually just like a quick glance at your judge. They'll just see that, yep, you're not falling off the wall, and you're awarded the top. Brushes getting in there, just keeping the climbs nice and crisp.
And guys, if you do have any questions, please chuck them in the chat. We can see everything that comes in, and we're more than happy to answer them.
Nah, the Meatloaf! We want it now! Yeah, very close to a flash attempt there for Jesse, which is sad to see him drop on the very last second. He's just about to pull on there for another attempt. If we can cut back to him.
or he sticks the first move again. He did use that toe hook. I wasn't sure if he did.
Just moves through really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really confident.
And let's see if he can square it away this time. It looks like he's opting for the slow. This was the other method that we had just discussed in our testing of the boulder, right, Al? So
yeah. So there is a slow stand up. Oh, and he just reaches through.
Beautifully done by Jesse.
Fantastic.
That's,
Very clever.
That's using your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Really exciting stuff.
So even though he didn't use the edge of the hold, he did have two hands on that finish hold. He was touching it, and so he will be paid the top for that. Our favorite beer, O'Neill. We're both on the
Wayward's raspberry Berliner Weisse at the moment, which is kind of like I guess it's like a sour ale type thing. I will admit that I don't really know much about beer, but I do love a good sour.
I know very little.
Sours are lovely. IPAs. I mean, I don't know. I'll drink anything really.
Yeah.
But right now we're enjoying some beautiful Wayward brews. So thank you so much to sponsor Wayward Brewing Company for the brews and for the assistance in running this awesome competition. Here we see Jess
with a minute remaining.
Minute left, so she's got plenty of time. She could possibly like come off this attempt and then just like jump straight back onto that bubble and like chill, get her heart rate down. So she could potentially have 2 attempts left in her here. Just looks like she needs to kind of figure out this next section. She's consistently getting to the zone. And it's such an awkward hold. It's like kind of in cut, but not super positive.
Not quite.
Just hitting that little in cut edge, but not quite latching it.
So 30 seconds to go. She can sit on that start hold for as long as she wants. So if she pulls on before the time's out, she can rest. And we have seen competitors in the past.
Well, this is like gearing up for one of those classic 4+ moments.
Yeah. Right? So she can get on and take her time. She can shake out. We've never seen it before. We've always discussed what would happen if a competitor just sat in one of these positions for minutes.
The live stream just awkwardly goes for like 3 more hours. Jess not opting for a very long rest. She's straight into the action here and just
a bit powered
gives
out.
A bit of a wave. Sorry.
Really physical boulder, this first women's boulder. So she would have been pretty. Oh, we do getting cut back to real.
Dave, you're killing me. Killing me. No one wants to watch 2 white guys drink beer. Come on. We're back in the action.
I'll do it if I have to.
Check out this atmosphere. We've got some really cool lighting. Actually, it's worth pointing out. Twisted Pair Production helping us with all our AV in the gym. They've been part of the Boulderfest sort of activity almost as long as I can remember.
Yeah, and since I've been around.
Yeah, Dylan always like super psyched. Dylan and his team helping us out with just putting on an awesome show for the limited crowd that we're able to have inside the venue. So unfortunately, we're not able to have a massive crowd, but obviously we have the volunteers from the event as well as staff and judges hanging out. And I believe each competitor gets like a +1.
Yeah, so they'll have family members here. Just adds to the atmosphere, you know.
Absolutely.
And I believe we also have an ACAQ some raffle seats.
That's right.
I think there's 3 people here who entered a raffle. All proceeds going to ACAQ, and they've won some seats to the live
Now we should point out this is our qualified in first round. So we've got Sam Bowman, Lucy Sterling, and Melanie McAuliffe. And as you can see, Melanie just flying up that bowler. Sam, slight slip there. He knows that's going to hurt him. He knows that someone else has flashed it or done it very fast. So he's probably kicking himself a little bit like, damn.
Yeah, these experienced competitors are really aware of how everyone's going. You know, they can hear the cheers back in isolation. They can time it so they'll know, you know, he'll have a fair idea somebody's done this boulder.
Lucy just looking so confident. Even just using her back to just like chill on an overhanging wall.
Sam, great top. I think it's his second attempt.
That was second attempt, I believe. Sam just double checking with the judge. You saw that, right? I topped that. He's learned his lesson from Boulderfest a few years ago.
For those of you that were with us, he was denied a top, had to climb a boulder again, but not this time. And Lucy with a fast top as well.
Super quick tops. Probably what you would expect to see from your qualified in first competitors.
Going back to
Yeah.
our Pump Fest round, talking about, people qualifying in the last minute. Sam actually finished his round in about 40 minutes. So we had 2.5 hours climbing. He was all done and dusted in just over half an hour.
2.5 hour round. Sam was drinking beer by the 45-minute mark.
Yeah.
I believe it was. Yeah. So
he was on a Wayward IPA, I believe.
yeah, Wayward's been sponsoring us and actually like kitting out the cafe with all their beer. So we've been able to enjoy it for the past few days, which is awesome.
James, the West End Bouldering Gym. We do have this large feature wall. So this is always set, I guess, kind of in like a competition featurey style. So lots of big lines, big holds, big volumes. And we were obviously hoping to have a big spectator turnout. So hopefully in the future, or many years to come, we will be able to have you all in here. So we'll take a quick break between boulders, guys.
So what's happening now, I guess, is we've obviously finished the first boulder. So we can cut to the scores in a second if we'd like to. But so now we're going to move on to boulder number 2. And let's actually, can we get the scores up on the screen? We'll just quickly run through them.
Wow, this is magic. So we can see our men's results there.
Can we get the F1 on here as well?
I don't think so. Sam would be in first, but I believe a top in 2 attempts. Oh no, Jesse should be in first. Not quite accurate there for our men's results. Sam obviously hasn't done a second boulder yet.
Possible, just misinput by the judges there. I'm sure they'll get amended.
But our gender inclusive field, lots of tops. So we can see 4 flashes. B. Maloney with a top in 2 attempts and a zone in 1 attempt, and Corey Wakefield a top in 3 and a zone in 1. And we'll jump to our female results. So 3 flashes on this boulder. So Lucy, Izzy, and Liz, all with flashes. That was hard to say. And then 3 flashes for the zone for Jess, Sarah, and Flora. So it looks like some really hard climbing after the zone on that women's boulder.
Absolutely. There's definitely a clear separation there of sort of ability from the first half to the second half, which is sometimes a really nice way to sort of start off around, sort of see where the category all 6 competitors are at.
And for those of you that haven't seen this scoring before, essentially what we have, the boxes between after the competitors' names, they show, so we have 4 boxes, 1 per boulder. If the box is half filled, that means the competitor got the zone. If it's completely filled, it means they got the top. And the numbers to the right refer to how many tops and zones they have in total and the attempts it took them to get those tops and zones.
Yeah.
So it can be a bit confusing to read. But essentially, this is ranking our competitors. And this is what we're coming back to see who is our Boulderfest champion.
Absolutely. So now we're just about to kick off on
boulder
number 2 for all 3 categories. I believe this is the white holds round.
Yeah. So all of our rounds are set by color. So we saw the green round. Now we have the white round. These don't refer to how hard the boulders are. M1 definitely wasn't a green.
If you're familiar with the urban climb sort of grading system.
Yep.
So here we've got B. Maloney working up on the gender inclusive boulder. Who else we got? We got Flora first on the women's slab. So a bit of a change of pace for the ladies. And we've got Matt Cochran working his way through the roof.
Yeah, really interesting as a competitor jumping between these styles, So the women obviously just finished pulling really hard on that steep boulder and now have to get composed, smearing on really bad volumes. It's just a total head game. Matt looking really strong.
Spill from the top of the gender inclusive zone. Yeah, Matt looking so solid. Just undercommitted there, I think, a bit to the zone hold. So he tickled it a bit. He won't be awarded the zone, but knows that he can definitely get to it. Flora looking quite solid and
famously
confident.
A bit of a slab god and showing it here.
Absolutely.
And
so
she
slow
looks
and
really
composed.
Comfortable. And the top hold is in the shadows, but there is a tiny screw on that Flora has to control.
Yeah.
It's not that big purple volume.
I believe that was probably a flash, right?
Yeah, it looked like it.
Fantastic flash from Flora.
B for their second attempt.
Yeah, I guess from a setting point of view, it's definitely something that we consider when we design the rounds for the competitors, is the change of pace throughout the competition. So, you come out to your first boulder for the women, for example, as you mentioned, Al, it was steep, powerful. You had to really get your heart rate up and sort of really activate your core and your muscles. And then suddenly you have to move into this really slow, really delicate, really sort of patient boulder style where, your heart rate just has to stay down. You got to keep composure. So it's definitely something interesting that we play with throughout the rounds when we design these finals rounds.
And unfortunately, we didn't see our viewing period, but the men after this moved to a really slow slab boulder. So they have to, they have to go from this roof, pull really hard onto a really slow controlled movements. And testing who can do that is just a whole other element of competitions. We've got a reference to Pat's mustache. It is luscious.
Thanks, Sam Hall. Thanks for the shout out. Sam Hall is asking us on the YouTube comments, how long did it take for me to grow this luscious caterpillar? It's been a work in progress, mate. It's been a long time coming. So thanks for noticing. Really appreciate it.
And we're just nearing a minute to go. So be taking some rest. Interesting tactics on these power boulders. When you can do the boulder, but you have to execute, taking your time can be huge. Having 20 attempts and just getting more and more gassed is not always the best method.
Oh, Matt looking so solid.
Really strong.
Through those pinches.
That is basically a dead roof. So he is...
So basically what Matt is holding onto is horizontal pinches. There's not really any hold in there that's in cut that you're able to sort of hang on. There's, probably I'd say the zone and that little chip on the volume that he's sort of bumping to are probably the only two in-cut holds. But all those bigger white features are just really open-handed pinches. So
go and find your rafters and try and hang off of them. That's basically what he's having a crack at.
Absolutely.
Be really cruising to the zone.
Just seems to be needing to take a bit of time working out the body position on the upper half through these squadra fictals. Just coming off there. It's quite an open-handed hold as well. But fantastic shapes as well provided to us from Schleinberger. Thank you very much. They provided a bunch of shapes purely for this final. So a couple of things that, we've seen in comps before, or holds that we've sort of touched but haven't really been able to really make something quite extravagant with, as well as a couple of the new holds as well, which we're yet to see in the later boulders, but holds that basically I believe haven't been seen anywhere in Australia yet.
No, and there's some holds that were produced in the last sort of 12 to 18 months and haven't been in Australia, so there'll be holds that our competitors have never touched, have never climbed on. So that's a whole other thing that we've never played with, really.
Super exciting.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
All right, so those of us everyone tuning into the K2 live stream, thanks for joining us.
I see Doug Holt brushing. Good boy.
Doug Holt is a crowd favorite.
Absolute legend.
And our second competitor's out already.
So who have we got now? We've got Sam Lavender for the men. We've got Elizabeth Cuskelly on the slab and Corey Wakefield on the gender-inclusive fictal bowler.
And Sam making short work of this start. Really, it's a full body wrestle, this boulder. All the limbs are pulling at all times. That hold his right hand's on is probably half a pad. So a super physical boulder.
So solid.
Corey as well progressing. I think that's where we saw B get to.
Liz just not quite finding the body position on that slab.
And Corey with a fast top.
Sam just coming off after. Did he take the zone there?
I'll be honest, I was watching Corey.
But it looked like Sam actually had a much different sequence as well to Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Matt was trying to climb it very sort of head on, climbing sort of with his hands first. And we saw a little bit of a turnaround and leading with the feet from Sam there.
Which I believe was the intention. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. To try and get the climbers, going feet first out of that roof.
Yeah. We wanted something that was really going to test the climbers' sort of intelligence in roof climbing, even though it's it's not like the biggest puzzle of a climb. It's pretty much just like pure intensity in a roof. But, roof climbing can still be quite complex. There's a lot of, oppositional points that you have to make use of. So I'd say for each round, especially for the men's round, I wasn't too involved for the women's round or the gender inclusive. But we tried to have a very clear theme, or I guess like a test that we wanted to put forward to the competitors. So, this one was all just about like, how is your power endurance and how good are you at just climbing really intense stuff?
Yeah. And as someone who struggles in a roof, I'm very grateful I didn't get on this boulder. I can imagine I would have just been doing circles. So Sam, we've got a bit of Sam, a bit of Liz.
Back in action on the slab here. Taking her time a little bit more, moving quite delicately.
And that zone hold just left of Liz's head. I think she got it on her first attempt.
Yeah, so she's ignoring that this time around. She knows she's got the zone already.
And this is her furthest progress, I believe.
Yeah, she fell just before this feature here. So we'll see if she can square away the top here. Sam working the toe hook rail, grabbing the zone.
There we go. So he'll be paid that. He'll be paid that zone. And Liz with the top.
Just coming off the zone there.
So that'll do huge things for her confidence. And to take the zone, if you haven't watched a comp before or you're fairly new to this, the zone hold, to achieve the zone, you have to hold the zone hold and your body has to progress through the boulder. So if you hold that hold and your hips move in the direction of the boulder or you move your feet while you're holding that zone, you will be awarded it.
Yeah, so you can't just like slap it. And
yeah,
like,
you can't just tap it. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
And Sam is taking a rest. He knows he's in that 4+ format. So I think we'll probably see him pull on with maybe 5 seconds to go. He looks really gassed.
Yeah, quite pumped. I see him shaking out there. Yeah, this is definitely a bit of a gamble, I would say, for the men's round.
Yeah.
These guys are just so strong that it's really hard to sort of really pinpoint how appropriate a hard move is for them.
Yeah. And we actually had a bit of playing around on this boulder a few hours before the round started. It's just a bit of a gamble, We're hoping for a top, obviously. Sam pulling on with a few seconds left, so he will have time now if he's quick.
Come on, Sam. Last ditch attempt.
And he's timed that perfectly.
He's timed out. Just trying to skip moves there.
So he left a couple of seconds. So that was really intelligent, leaving that, 3 or 4 seconds to get back on the wall. But unfortunately, no top for Sam. We are back.
Every time.
The K2 Stitch Up live stream. We keep getting cut back.
Welcome back to the K2 Stitch Up. So pretty exciting round so far, I would say. I'm not nervous. You're nervous. I have some fun facts about Sam Lavender. He's born in Townsville and loves to play Minecraft.
There you go. I believe him and some of the other, sort of 19, 20-year-olds had a lockdown server during a 3-day lockdown.
Which we aren't allowed to share because apparently it'll get too popular.
Yeah, so the cool kids having fun.
Cool kids playing Minecraft.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, next out we should see Satoshi Ogawa for the men. We should see Isabel Battle already up on the slab. And Claire Groom on the gender inclusive boulder.
Satoshi doing some sort of crazy start.
Satoshi maybe just rushing his attempt a little bit there. Pulling on with not too much control. Isabel taking the zone. Yeah. Looking quite slow and solid. Just doing a little bit of a too fast a lean over there, losing her balance. Claire looking nice and comfortable on that open-handed pinch. Some great shapes from climbholds.com. Very cool to see these shapes being used in, a boulder that's probably not as difficult as, the typical white boulders that we see in the gym. So that's a huge benefit of having these finals rounds where we can just sort of play around a bit more with the different shapes, use them for moves that you might not typically see in that circuit in general. So leaves a bit of, room for creativity as well. Satoshi, oh my God, Satoshi skipping through the left hold there, doing that in a slightly different manner. He's just got to square away the top, trying to find a nice, comfortable position. It's a very intense little top section here, and he's just got to pop over to the top hold. Let's see if he can square away this top. And he's done it. Fantastic work from Satoshi Ogawa, looking so strong. He'll be stoked. Indeed, it was a sick knee bar. Thank you very much, Lachlan Reed.
Claire Groom taking the zone on our GI boulder.
Yeah, so Claire Groom's been here before. They just need to work out this next little section on the quadrifictals. Oh. Maybe just struggling with the open-handedness of those sort of big scoopy pinches. Yeah, Satoshi just became an optical illusion. That's very apt, yeah. Some of the stuff that guy does just doesn't look real. Now let's see if Isabel can keep her composure on this little lean over section of the slab.
Oh, that was amazing.
Just catches that slight balance.
And
tip
backwards. Stabbed her toe as well.
Yeah.
That
nice.
was cool.
That's very clever use of sort of the limbs for opposition, just to sort of catch your momentum.
Really aware of where all the volumes are, where her limbs are. And just over a minute to go. Claire progressing to where they were on this boulder previously. Just needs to keep nice and composed and looking really calm.
Isabel hunting in the dark for that top hold.
And she's got it. Claire, unfortunately, with another fall. Silence level knee dislocation ability. Satoshi Silence Ogawa.
Is that a reference to like Adamondra's?
Adamondra's silence, yeah,
okay.
The human pretzel.
The human pretzel. Fantastic.
So Claire just taking some time, chalking up for one last ditch.
Being pretty smart, making use of the 4+ format here. And hopefully they can just keep enough energy in the tank to get through that section. Light little foot slip there, stays on.
Great fight.
Yeah, actually really great to see, like, good fight from all competitors. Come on, Claire.
Just digging that toe. And these footholds are all dual texture. So there's a specific spot you have to stand. Just adds to the risk of the boulder.
Come on, Claire.
Oh, not quite.
Just not quite finding the body position needed to sort of maneuver around that dish. Maybe keeping their body slightly too high.
Yeah.
Generally with sort of open-handed slopers, keeping your weight sort of down low underneath helps a lot with sort of staying on the hold. But nevertheless, a fantastic effort. Let's do a quick little sponsor shout-out. Who we got? We've got Rock Therapy Brisbane as one of the major sponsors for this year's Boulderfest. Jack Malpe and Ryan.
Ryan Corndog Cornelius.
Corndog Cornelius.
They've been here all weekend treating competitors. I think everyone's had a few massages from those two this weekend.
Absolutely.
And it's been great.
And of course, we've got Scarpa as another major sponsor as well. And huge thank you to the other sponsors, Metolius, Scent, Black Diamond, Cliff Bar, Pinnacle Sports. We always appreciate all the support from all these great companies helping us just keep this thing growing every year, just getting better and better. Thank you so much.
I don't know if you tried the Pinnacle Sports, the campus, Scarpa, sorry. The Scarpa Campus Challenge.
Was that the timed lap?
The timed lap.
Argo, just flying up.
Argos, we missed Argos. Start again.
We were talking, Argo.
They are looking really composed. I was talking about Argo earlier.
Oh,
there was a lot of nerves, and I'm not sure why, because they look so controlled.
Yeah.
Hey, Ned, I believe you're in Melbourne lockdown, so I hope you're doing okay down there.
And here we have Corey Batten, who is one of probably the purely physically, he's like one of the strongest people I've ever seen climb.
Yeah, he built a woody at his house maybe a year ago, and he's almost lived on it. And I think we can see that here.
It's really paying off.
He is just looking.
Corey going with the straight up method as well, looking nice and solid.
Now this move here is.
Apologies if we just suddenly stopped talking because we're really invested in seeing these boulders get topped. Here we've got Sarah, I believe.
Yeah.
Sarah?
Yeah. And she's just standing. She doesn't look super calm on this move. But she's definitely bringing it back. I believe what we were seeing there is She was standing quite shallowly on that volume. So she was standing really close to the wall. So pushing her body out.
The zone there.
Taking the zone.
Hey, Ben. Hope you're doing well over in Europe, mate.
And this tipping move here is really low percentage.
Quite risky.
Yeah. And it's quite mental. You have to leave that left hand and just believe that your right palm's going to hit.
Yeah, it's really sort of sudden, jarring sort of.
Oh!
And Sarah just fails to sort of find the balancing point there. I'm sure still plenty of time for another attempt. I'm assuming we'll see Corey, still on the mat there, trying to gather his energy. He probably knows that, he doesn't have many tries to do this.
Yeah.
But he knows that he can get up there. So he's just milking the rest for everything he can.
And he'll know that, having lots of shots at this boulder isn't what he needs. He needs a couple of really good burns, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Definitely.
Sarah taking that zone again and just leaning. Hopefully we see
if she can stick this lean over move here. Probably knows she has to try and get out a little bit slower and just hold the tension.
Oh, not quite.
You can see that left leg tilting back on a slab and just providing just enough weight behind her body to sort of cause that leaning back momentum. So if she can figure out sort of how we saw Isabel just kind of stomp the volume to the left to keep her weight into the wall, we'll see if Sarah can sort of find that method. But 33 seconds on the clock.
And Corey, you can see massaging his forearm, so he is quite pumped. He'll probably have one last ditch burn just as time runs out. He's done a few of these finals now, so he'll know.
He's got his tactics down for sure. Corey's favorite Pokemon is Squirtle, and he's hyping up the crowd there.
Corey loves this weekend.
I think he's just super stoked to be in finals again.
Yeah. I was chatting to him yesterday. Come on, Corey.
Super confident. Kick over. Feet come out first. And he's just got to keep the tension here to get to that little toe hook volume feature.
And he has this roof section dialed in, so he's learned that really fast.
He absolutely knows what he's got to do. Sarah just composing herself there on the slab. She knows he's just got to find that right balancing point for that left leg.
And she's found it. That's
beautiful. You can see it. Yeah, it's just tucked under the volume there. She noticed that from the last attempt, and then just moves too suddenly, and Corey's off as well.
Corey looking gassed. Oh, well. He'll be happy with that. He gave it everything. Yeah, I was talking to Corey yesterday. He's actually having a son very soon. His lovely partner, Katie. And he said making finals was just below finding out that he was having a child. So he's pretty psyched to be here.
It's nice to know that we rank pretty high.
Yeah.
And not above, your firstborn.
Yeah. I'm not huge into the Pokemon. How controversial is his favorite Pokemon being Squirtle? I know he's adopted the name Pikachu Man recently.
I mean, he is the Pikachu Man because he just never takes off that Pikachu t-shirt.
Yeah. I believe he owns two.
But I mean, Squirtle's a pretty good Pokemon. I don't know who you picked for your first three.
I just thought Squirtle looked a bit happy for it all.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but
I'm sending you into the world.
He was kind of insinuating Charizard for a while, and Charizard is such a vanilla answer.
Yeah.
I mean, Squirtle doesn't look like much at the start, but you end up with Blastoise, which is
gets the job done.
That's pretty boss.
All right,
who we got?
So climbing, hey. Our next round.
I choose you.
Big Dog Raffini on the men's boulder.
We've got Nick Rezzi on the gender inclusive.
Absolutely.
Just
cruising.
Flying up it.
We saw them. I beat the Elite Four with just a Squirtle. Yeah. I'm assuming that's good, Dave Walker.
Sure you did, Dave. Ain't nobody done that.
Nick finding that position just underneath the sloper.
And Jesse just going for a Sunday stroll.
Yeah.
Through a horizontal roof. Hello.
Nick with a super fast up.
Yeah, looking super confident through there. Jesse just not messing around. He is asserting himself as the big dog. Big dog in the pound.
He's a pretty quiet character, Jesse, but he definitely comes out in Boulderfest.
We love him to bits. Just an insanely talented climber, just insanely strong. He didn't look too troubled by that roof. Maybe
No.
just like a slight sequence slip there. So I assume we'll see him do very well. Meanwhile, Jess taking it quite slow and carefully to the zone there. I refuse to hear Charizard slander on this live stream. Fight me. Come at me.
Jess just hopefully finding that tipping point. Oh, and really similar to Sarah, we just see that leg flick out. And as soon as that goes, it's so hard to pull it back in.
I feel like Julianne is like trying to call me out, wanting to. Sorry, not Julianne.
No, it is.
No, Boobar wants to hear some fun facts about Jesse, knowing that the man is an enigma.
Yeah.
Like, no one knows anything about him. But I know for a fact that he studies engineering and that he's working on some Air Force projects at the moment. So
we don't know anything about them. Hush, hush.
that's probably why he's flying up this boulder.
Oh.
Thank you. And he doesn't scroll Instagram. He's not an Instagram scroller.
No.
He's purely hooked on the Stoked app. He's always looking for that next boulder. Just making another slow and steady attempt here across the slab.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by the composure we've seen on this women's boulder. All the competitors looking really calm. That volume is super smeary, that start volume, and they've all just taken it in their stride. So that's really impressive.
And quite deep too. You can't really quite tell how sort of deep that volume is from the angle. But it's essentially like this, just the biggest, like, heavily slanted ledge that you've ever seen. So it's like, it's a pretty comfortable thing to walk across, but you know that like as soon as you slip slightly, you're just out of
You're
it.
just staring
It's like,
down at this massive thing. Yeah.
this massive sort of
It's like being on an island. Just
All right, 50 seconds left on the clock. Happy belated birthday to Jasmine, indeed, Yanni. Thank you for calling it out.
Jess chalking up. She looks really calm.
Do it for France, says Andy Bates. Jess Penner, of course.
It's French, yeah.
Being French.
For those of you that don't know Jess.
We should probably mention that to the live stream. It makes sense to Al and I, but yeah. Jess Penner being of French descent makes sense. Do it for France. French climbers, of course, known for their exceptional slab skills.
Yeah,
So,
famously good on a slab, and she is hopefully going to live up to that.
Progressing a little bit further. She's got that nice little left foot flag, trying to keep her weight balanced. Very
Just
nice
nailed
work.
that tipping point.
And that is time up. So this is the last attempt for Jessie in the roof. Jess can hopefully just figure out this last little section. If she just keeps her composure, stays nice and slow.
And chalking up, so she looks pretty calm.
She should have this in the bag. Let's see what's happening with
Jessie walking his toes out. Not the most flattering shot we have of Jessie.
Oh my gosh, he's just missed a jib. Slapped back
so
on.
So strong.
Let's see if he can make this top section happen for him. He must be surely like pretty gassed by this.
So pumped. Kicks that foot up. Now this next hole that he's going to go to is not great.
So these are some new lapis pocket shapes from climb holds as well that we've had for the first time on the wall in this competition. So once again, they're climbing this crazy roof section, getting to the lip, getting above it, and being like, I've never seen that hold before.
Yeah, and the two previously, so these climbers all know that the holds come in sets. The two they have previously are both really good. And so you're looking at this shape that looks really similar, but is really slopey.
Yeah.
So it's very deceptive.
Yeah, so it can catch you by surprise for sure. But that was some amazing efforts there that we saw.
Yeah.
So far, I'm really struggling to keep track of like who's ahead, who's in charge of this comp.
Yeah.
It seems very like messy and all over the place, which is, to me personally, like always really entertaining. We can see here at the moment we've got Satoshi Ogawa in first place with his one top and two zones. Sam Lavender close behind with just one more attempt to a zone. Jesse Ruffini, I believe, hasn't had his score for that bowler put in yet.
But he should also be one top, two zones.
Yep.
Unsure on the attempts for that.
And then we will see Sam Bowman come out for that bowler soon.
There we go. Jessie takes the top. Takes first place.
There we go.
Whoa.
Let's see if we can get the
jump to our female
next
results.
category.
So obviously midway through the second boulder, so some of our competitors haven't had the chance to try this yet. But easy battle with 2 tops, 2 zones, and 4 attempts. And Elizabeth Castelli just 1 attempt to zone. So they have exactly the same results, but Liz just taking 1 attempt longer to achieve one of her zones. Flora in third, and then Sarah Reynolds, our only other competitor so far on this boulder. And our gender inclusive, we have Nick Razi, who we saw just look so strong, and Argo Thea Harris. Both made those first 2 boulders look great. And Corey Wakefield in third, Claire Groom in fourth, and B Maloney in fifth.
So let's cut back now to the next round, which I'm sure is already underway. And I believe we'll have Sam Bowman for the men. We'll have Lucy Sterling for the women on slab. And Melanie for the gender inclusive round. Not out on the boulders yet. Oh, boss man, you must think me a fool. Is that a phone alarm or a timer? Can you hear it in the commentary?
We can't hear it.
Can't hear any noise in our commentary booth, so sorry about that, Josh Fry. Is this the Olympics? Not quite.
Yeah, we unfortunately were supposed to have both Tom O'Halloran and Osh McKenzie here for this event. Wow, we keep getting cut back to. But due to their Olympic preparations and the COVID situation down south, they couldn't join us. But good luck to the both of them going to Tokyo.
Absolutely.
And really exciting to see climbing in the Olympics for the first time. So obviously in the next couple of weeks, we'll see that take place. Fingers crossed it all goes well. We'd love to see it become a staple in future.
One of the nicest guys. Absolutely. Yeah. What else is happening here? Potato gems.
Potato gems are good.
Snacking on potato gems.
Wayward beer is good.
Is there any climbing happening?
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Let's see what's happening on the wall.
Not too sure what's going on here.
Good potato gems, though. It looks like we're having a bit of a hype up moment from the MCs in the venue.
Possibly, surely there wasn't a top already. We must still be waiting for Sam to come out for our last round of competitors.
Let's hear some fun facts about the last round of climbers. So Sam Bowman, we asked him what his best day out climbing would be, and he said any day in Spain.
Yeah, he loved Spain.
Fan of the big, long, pumpy Spain routes. Lucy Sterling, her hype up song is Smack My Bitch Up by The Prodigy, which I think is just everyone's hype up song.
If you can listen to that song without getting hyped,
that's true.
Yeah,
a fun fact about Lucy Sterling as well is that she's a fantastic baker. Her and Liz regularly bake stuff together.
So I believe what's happening here is there may have been some blood on one of the volumes. So we can see our setting team there just cleaning that up.
So we've got a bit of a technical issue happening at the moment on the walls. That should be squared away pretty soon.
So obviously our competitors, we don't want any health hazards. So they will just clean all that blood off the boulders. The competitor that was bleeding will tape up. So hopefully we shouldn't have this issue again in future. And they'll get that volume cleaned. They'll get it all chalked up again. And we'll see our last round of competitors out.
Melanie McAuliffe, who's next up for the gender inclusive round, if she could be any animal, if they could be any animal, they would choose a galah.
Cool. Is there a reason or just?
I don't think so.
Nah,
just likes
cool.
galahs. Galahs are pretty cool. All right. Hopefully not too much longer on the technical issue being cleared up on the walls here.
There's a lot of love for potato gems coming through our live chat.
I mean, it's a slab. Like, how much can you bleed on a slab, really? You're not holding anything.
But the amount of skin these competitors went through yesterday was massive. 2.5 hours of climbing, and for a lot of them, 2.5 hours of slipping off of really textured holds just eats it away.
Their skin will be wrecked.
So it doesn't take much to...
Especially on the new holds as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Alexandra Bishop reaching out on the comments. Any brushes doing the patented pat towel slap? So some competitors will have seen me walking around during the pump fest slapping holds with a towel. I do not claim to have patented this technique. This is a pretty common, I guess, like hold cleaning technique. I believe it's from like Fontainebleau.
Yeah,
like,
that's where I've seen it a
tradition,
lot.
where obviously like maintaining the rock's integrity is like of the highest importance. So it's actually a really effective way of just cleaning dust and like grime off hold. So if you're ever in the gym, it works perfectly well for plastic as well. If you're in the gym and you're trying to hold onto a sloper or a volume and you're just finding it like a little bit greasy, grab a t-shirt, grab a towel, and just give it a whack and thank me later.
Yeah, works almost as well as brushing. In some ways it works better. You don't brush any of that grime into the hold. You
Absolutely.
just hit it off. So
I would say do both.
we have a comment, Sam here from America. So we have a viewer in America. That would be very cool.
That's awesome. What time would it be in America? It's like,
What is it? 8 hours difference, is it?
It's like 17 hours to California, I think.
Oh, Wobsy.
Holy hell. Wobsy,
Oh, it says 5 a.m. I thought your name was Sam. I'm sorry. Our screen isn't real big. So Wobsy, it's 5 a.m. and you're watching Boulderfest. That is amazing. Good effort.
I thought that's what it said as well. True boulders take their shirt off. I don't know about that. Never seen Sam Bowman with the shirt off.
I have never
and
seen.
that guy never falls off, so that's true. People in the UK.
James Lee. Oh, very cool having
Super cool.
Yeah, competitors from all
Yeah,
over the world. Oh,
Please let us
decades.
know where you're watching from. Actually, I'm super keen to see where people are tuning in from. Hit us up in the comments. If you got any good jokes. Actually, maybe not jokes.
Tell us where you're from.
Tell us where you're from.
And we can see some of our volunteers and some of our sponsors there just having a beer and enjoying the finals. Really grateful for all the volunteers at this event. Ben Abel is tuning in from Innsbruck, Austria.
Innsbruck.
What time is it there, Ben?
Having a crack at the World Cup events.
Yeah.
Doing us proud. Miss you, Ben.
Sweden? Oh, wow.
Tjenare, Adam. Trevligt.
Patty's actually Swedish.
Well,
Well-
some would say I'm Polish. It's controversial. 7-12 in Wynnum. All right, Detroit. Holy crap, we're all over the place.
All right,
Green
and our
slaps.
technical
Yes,
issues all fixed. So we're back and rolling, everybody. Lucy checking out this slab.
we got a crispy clean slab. We've got
Mel McAuliffe absolutely rinsing our GI2 boulder.
and Sam Bowman apparently under the impression that it is the Olympics because he's speed climbing through this roof. Just looking so solid, so confident. Let's see if he goes, yeah, right hand up first. Very nice.
And Sam making the top of this boulder look really good. And a good top for Sam. I think that was his flash
Solid,
burn.
Super solid flash attempt from Sam Bowman. I wonder if he's even having fun, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Just having a session.
Just having a little warm down sesh from yesterday's pump fest.
The winner of all of our categories, they are fighting for $1,000 prize money. So not only are they
Oh, Lucy just dropping the lean over there. That's
tip,
That's her flash
the
gone.
tipping point. So that not only are they going for the title of Boulderfest champion, there is a lot of money on the line. So they'll all be taking it very seriously, as much fun as they're all having. Perth, Anna Davey, one of our Boulderfest regulars, unfortunately couldn't join us, obviously due to COVID border restrictions. But we miss you, Anna. Hopefully next year.
Yeah, so many regular faces that unfortunately
Yeah.
we weren't able to see in the competition, but we've got you in our hearts. Rest assured, Lucy just looking a little bit uncertain on this lean over move.
Yeah, she's a really intelligent competitor, and I don't think it'll let her.
Oh,
hasn't
nail-
fostered her too
Nails
much.
at that time. Now just has to take it nice and slow for the second half. Not make any sudden movements.
Taking a breath. Some of the comments coming in are really good, so thank you, everybody.
Keep it up.
And Lucy with the top.
Fantastic.
So I feel as though we've seen a lot of tops in our women's field.
Yeah.
So it'd be really cool to see the boulders coming up. If we get the scores on screen again, now we finished our second boulder. There we go. So our gender inclusive results are on the screen. So Melanie McAuliffe in first, Nicole Reezy and Argo Thea Harris all tying for that first place. If we have a tie, we do go to countback from the Boulderfest round, from the Pumpfest round. Corey Wakefield, Claire Groom, and B Maloney in sixth. Our male field, Sam Bowman in first with that really, really quick top. The only competitor to top both of those first two boulders. Jesse Raffini in second, Satoshi Ogawa, Sam, Corey, and Matt Cochran in sixth place. So a great looking split. Sam is getting these time travel tops. Not sure what's going on there, but he definitely only has the two. And in our female field, there we go. Really close again. So Lucy just by an attempt to top in first place, Izzy Battle in second, Liz Cuskelly, and then Flora Froese with one top, two zones, Sarah Reynolds, two zones, and Jess Penner, I believe, maybe a judging error. My memory's not great, but I think she topped that second boulder. So I'm not sure where that places her. So we're just waiting now. All our competitors will be back in isolation. So between attempts or between boulders, our competitors go back into isolation. And while they're in there, they're just trying to keep warm. They're trying to keep fueled up. So there'll be lots of snacks, lots of water.
And psych each other out.
And psych each other out, yeah. Some of the smack talking, particularly in the men's field, is pretty next level. All our sponsors on the screen there. So our K2 live stream, Scarpa, Wayward Brewing, they're keeping us fueled through this gambit. Rock Therapy, Matolia, Scent, Black Diamond, Cliff Bar, and Pinnacle Sports. Thank you so much again. These events don't happen without you all, and we really appreciate the support. Just having a look through our comments. Ruby Chapman, the judges already know Sam is going to top the next boulder. Maybe that's where those time travel tops are coming from.
Yeah, O'Neill Scoville is asking, what's for sudden death decision? I think I'm assuming that's a question around like, what if there's a tie?
Yeah.
We actually have a Thunderdome set up in the car park with Tina Turner standing by. So, yeah, any ties that occur, it just ends up being a Thunderdome fight.
We haven't seen it in recent history, but legend has it it's an epic showdown. So I'm holding out for one personally. Post-match interviews. I don't know if we're going to be able to get post-match interviews. As sad as that will make Sam Bowman, those of you that know him know he loves the camera.
He loves the camera, loves people asking him questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. I challenge anyone to go up to Sam Bowman with a camera and get him to speak to you. Absolutely.
Yeah. Laura, apparently we have somebody watching from Colombia. Laura Arbeles Breton. I'm hugely sorry.
Hola,
Laura. I'm hugely sorry for pronouncing your middle name.
Bienvenido a la Boulderfest. That's all I got.
Sí.
Lo siento.
And we have our competitors out for their third boulders.
We're on to the third round.
Damn, time's flying.
How fantastic. So what are we going to see in this round, Al?
From memory, we can see it on screen. I don't remember anything. The female F3 is quite a physical roof boulder. Our GI3 is a really beautiful, lots of black lapis and squadra holds, a really beautiful kind of fridge. The wall that we see B on is probably 15 degrees overhanging. So quite a physical boulder. And the men's boulder, after that really intense roof, they have to slow down now. This is one of the slowest slabs I've ever climbed. So they'll have to control everything, bring it all back, and stay really composed. So B and Flora both having a rest. Matt on his first attempt. Looking really good. I think trying to crimp the top of that volume, which is 100% allowed. B back on their second attempt.
Not getting a whole lot out of it. We tried to make a fairly decent effort of screwing that corner.
Yeah, not sure what he's crimping.
Nice and tight so that you can't quite get your fingertips in behind. Sometimes you get a little bit of a lip behind volumes, especially on a slab, which can just help you to sort of keep your balance point into the wall. We, of course, we anticipated that the climbers would sort of be looking for that that feature. So,
yeah, as a competitor, you're looking for every advantage.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, really interesting change of pace here for the male and female category, going from slab to power or from power to slab. So interesting to see how this round is going to play out. Matt, quite a talented slab climber, but just moving a little bit too fast, a little bit erratic on that first half of that boulder.
B, I think we saw get the zone on that attempt prior. Should have been awarded that. Yeah. Definitely got it here.
Punching their way up through this powerful overhanging boulder. Looks a little bit sort of directional. You got to make sure you're pulling the right direction with moving the right limb at the right time.
Yeah, and lots of really committed slapping.
Up through the second half of the zone now. Second half of the boulder, sorry. And Flora just having a bit of trouble through the roof section here.
And just keeping her feet off the ground. She's a really tall competitor.
This insanely modular roof feature that's been constructed by Genya and her team.
Yeah, I can't read this thing.
It looks super complex to figure out, like, where are the edges, which hand is going where. Yeah, what a cool feature.
Flora's basically walked into a game of Tetris, and she's just trying to navigate her way through it. Matt back on this slab. Really cool holds from Axis. So another one of our...
Yeah, some fantastic Axis macro shapes from, again, climbholds.com. Thanks again for providing us with some great shapes. We can see also some massive lapis edges here on the gender-inclusive bowler, where B's just taken another fall off the starting moves.
And Flora just not sold on that. I'm not sure what that hold she has to hold on to is, but she's not psyched on it, whatever it is.
It's a bit of like it's almost like I'd say a finger and a half like in-cut jug.
Oh, yeah, so it's pretty good.
It's not that it's a bad hold, but your feet just disappear from you.
Yeah, right.
And you essentially, I believe the intended move is like a 180 campus to that next edge that we can see just under that sort of like blocked volume feature.
Yeah, right. Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
So not a move we've seen a lot in our women's fields, and it sounds like a really powerful test for them all.
Absolutely. So I mean, some of the women have obviously been competing for a very long time. They know how to train. They're incredibly strong.
Yeah.
So sometimes you need to pull out just like this, next level test of strength to see who's got what it takes.
And Matt in his plus time. So B unfortunately not getting the top, just leaving the climbing area there. Matt, I think this is his furthest progress.
Yeah. So he's got his foot on the zone feature there. He won't be awarded the zone until his hand reaches that little screw-on feature, and he has shifted his weight. So he's just slowly working his way over to it.
Oh,
and that is just the slowest fall. The beauty of slab is the slowest falls you've ever seen.
Yeah, he would have known he was falling for probably 5 or 6 seconds there, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. Love seeing that explosion of like frustration when it's like, I've lost it. I'm going to be on the ground in like 8 seconds time.
And as a competitor, you hear all this cheering and everyone wants you to keep going, and you're like, I'm done. I'm out. I'll see you all in a minute when I hit the ground.
So definitely this round looks like perhaps a bit of a step up. I would say possibly for all three categories, actually. The first two, we saw a couple of like really fast tops. We saw, some ties in the gender inclusive category. So I believe at this stage in the competition, the goal really is to sort of start stepping it up a notch and sort of seeing, all right, who is actually at the top of this field? Who's got what it takes?
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to see how that plays out across the different rounds. So for the women, we've obviously got the power boulder. So who's got the raw power to get through a roof? The gender inclusive boulder, again, looks super powerful, really thuggy, but also quite technical, I would say. And the slab is just like, I mean, maybe you can attest to it, Al, compared to other competition slabs you've climbed. I certainly felt like it was a bit of a risk setting a slab this techie or like this delicate.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to do a bit of a simulator on this round earlier in the day, and this slab was just some of the most stressful climbing I've ever done, and I can't imagine doing it right now in front of the crowd. With this, this title on the line. Sam Lavender, incredible on a slab, and he will take the zone.
He's got a first attempt to zone there.
So that entire lower triangle we can see his right hand and right foot on is the zone. So any way he uses that volume to progress will get in the zone, including the jibs that are screwed to it. And yeah, this boulder is just, 4 or 5 different slow, tense moves. The wall is pretty much vertical. So right now he's just fighting this, getting pushed out by the wall.
I believe it's a 1 degree.
There you go. We have
1 degree negative slab.
We have the exact specs.
Which is the specs given to me by Blake Stringer, one of the setters and also one of the wall constructors for this gym.
Very talented man.
Sam, I mean, this is exactly why we decided to go all out for the slab. Sam just like showing us how incredibly gifted he is at slab climbing. You can see the top hold there is actually not like a grabbable hold. He's got to stick his finger underneath it.
Oh, and he's got it.
And that's just incredible slab climbing from Sam Lavender. So he'll be stoked with that.
I believe a flash.
I believe it was a flash, yeah.
And meanwhile, we've seen multiple attempts on these other 2 boulders. So that was a really long attempt. I'm not sure what our time's at.
Liz Coskelly working her way through the roof here.
So it was almost a 2-minute attempt for Sam. So.
I'll assume that we saw, I don't believe we were maybe paying too much attention, but I think Corey Wakefield topped the gender inclusive boulder as well.
Oh, wow. Incredible.
Which would have been, I believe, the first top of that boulder.
I was hugely distracted by Sam's slab climbing, so sorry, Corey, but congratulations. Liz taking a breather. She'll be doing some skin maintenance. She had a big... Oh, maybe we haven't seen Corey top.
My mistake. Corey's still gone.
But keep on keeping on, Corey. Just over a minute to go.
Corey's been recently getting so psyched on outdoor climbing. Recently had an outdoor session with them at Red Bank, actually.
Oh, cool.
At the tattooing area.
One of the local Brisbane bouldering areas.
Super psyched.
And Corey really fighting. This GI3 looks super physical. And it would just be sapping them of power every single attempt. So it's just a huge fight. Liz trying a really cool lead with the feet method. I know talking to the female setting team, the team for this female round, they thought there was 2 methods for this boulder. So there's a campus method and a lead with the feet. And we see Liz trying to lead with the feet there. And looking like she's having a lot of fun.
Yeah, Liz loves a good bit of roof power climbing.
Yeah, one of her favorite styles.
This is definitely her territory. So this will be the last attempt.
And for those of us that haven't watched a comp before, the 4 strips of tape you see at the start, they denote the starting positions. So I guess we're addressing this kind of late, but essentially the competitors have to start with 1 limb, touching each of those holds or each of those bits of tape. Adam Undra, I'm assuming not the real Adam Undra, ask, are the female roots? Maybe it is, that'd be sick. The female route set by female route setters. The female round was head set by a female route setter, Ganya Cott.
So the female round was set by Ganya Cott, May McKenzie, and I believe we had Dan Gordon as well involved in the setting of that round, as well as Mehdi Nasrati involved in a lot of testing and tweaking. So yeah, very strong female contingency in the setting team, which is always great to see. Yeah.
And our GI round headset by Jane Engler, another really talented setter.
Yeah, Jane just doing an awesome job headsetting this sort of fairly new category for us. Also, like, quite new to the headsetting scene. So just, yeah, fantastic work. I think to all the setters involved, really. Adam, how do we know you're the real Adam Ondra? Tell us something about Adam Ondra that only Adam Ondra would know.
It's a very personal question for Adam.
I mean, if you're gonna like,
it's a big call. It's a big statement to make.
where are we at, Al? That was.
Oh, I'm losing it.
I am losing it.
Who did we have on the slab? Sam Lavender with a really quick flash. So third competitor out?
Yes, we should have Satoshi Ogawa next up on the slab. Isabel Battle coming out for the roof bowler. And Claire Groom coming out for the gender inclusive round.
And I think all those competitors are out. So a bit of a dark shot here. But all the competitors. So Claire Groom straight on the wall. On our gender inclusive 3.
Not wasting any time.
No.
Getting straight into it.
Isabel also really quick on. And Satoshi just taking a bit of time to look at this slab. So not rushing into it. Making sure he knows exactly what the game is.
Satoshi best known for his incredibly powerful and dynamic style of climbing. So really curious to see how he goes with this really delicate, slow, like super tenuous slab.
Yeah,
Isabella just giggling as she's coming off the roof boulder there.
I haven't seen Satoshi on a slab very much, so I'm equally intrigued. Claire back on GI again, GI3. And looking like they're just struggling to get anything out of those.
With that transfer of weight,
yeah.
It's quite a intense shoulder movement where you have to sort of get your foot up, push all your weight into that right-hand gaston. So hopefully they can make a bit of progress there.
And I know talking to Jane, one of the headsetter for this gender inclusive round, she was saying this is one of their more physical boulders. So it'll be a great test for all our competitors, but particularly the top couple.
Satoshi having a bit of trouble all around for this round of competitors. So just giving you an idea of really how quite challenging this round is, this round of boulders.
We haven't seen anyone attempt the campus beta yet, I don't believe, on F3.
No.
Hopefully we do a bit later on. A big shout out for Isabel from Alex Battle saying, "Get your lanky limbs up there." I'm assuming you're a friend of Isabel.
Not just an internet troll.
Yeah.
I wish I'd gotten some fun facts for Satoshi.
I know he's a root setter from Japan. So he moved over here maybe a year ago, I would say.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Really talented climber, really talented root setter, and obviously a really talented competitor. That's why we're seeing him here. Yeah, loves his jumps. Frequently posts videos of himself doing boulders in
slightly concerning jumps.
Yeah.
It's like, please don't hurt yourself, Satoshi.
And maybe looking at
some sort of different
jump method for this, possibly. Who knows?
He's just eyeing up the wall, like, what can I jump to?
If you'd asked me earlier if this boulder could be jumped, I would have said no, until I saw Satoshi, and now I would not be surprised. Claire, just looking at their skin, that'll be wearing through quickly on these new holds.
Come on, Satoshi. Come on, Isabel.
So Isabel looking really good to here. Maybe just a bit perplexed by this method. Looking at the swing by the looks of it, or possibly trying to get her feet up.
Here we go.
Oh, so this is the intended method, talking to the setters. So lots of hips, really swinging, getting your momentum going, and then just a bit of a monkey bar to that next hold.
Quite an ambitious move.
Yeah.
Very, very hard to force. I definitely saw the setting team sort of working on it a really long time, trying to make, the possibility, like, the possibility of doing it a different way, like less appealing or less possible. But
yeah.
I mean, these climbers are so good at just figuring out their own way of doing things.
Yeah.
It's so hard to like set anything where you're 100% certain like that's the way it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's like part of the fun, I think, like part of the magic of like,
Oh,
you can be
100%.
so hell-bent on like, I'm going to make the climb do this, and the climber can approach and just be like, nah, I don't think so. Like,
and it's amazing what you'll see people pull on, or what pretzel you'll see them get themselves into when they're up in a comp.
absolutely.
You know, they're fighting for a title, they're fighting for the prize money, and they'll do a lot to win that. So
We saw quite a frustrating round there for some of the competitors. Satoshi, for example, really struggling to get himself onto the slab. Can you speak to like at all how you have felt like in previous competitions where you like get to like almost like a roadblock? Like, how do you deal with that when you come out to like the next boulder? How do you just like forget that and just like focus on the next performance?
It's a massive game, and it's something that the good competitors do really well. And it's just something you have to do. So I think, you know, you can't control that you've fallen off a boulder. You can't control that anyone else has topped a boulder. But obviously flashing the next boulder will be massive. You know, that's the only thing you can do to improve your score. And so you just have to accept that.
You can't change it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can't change that you didn't get a top, that you didn't get a zone.
Yeah.
The only thing that's going to rectify that is topping the next boulder.
Yeah, I'm not
and
sure.
So you got to do your best. Oh, Sarah,
I'm not sure what's going on, but Argo is already sitting down.
Yeah, possibly another blood rule, or
possibly a blood rule, or maybe did we just miss their attempt? Or I'm not too sure what's going on.
I'm not sure.
We'll see probably what's playing out there in a second.
But sorry we missed that. Sarah having a good crack at the campus straight off the day.
Yeah, pretty decent first burn. She saw that sort of powerful campus move quite fast.
Would have loved to have a microphone while these competitors were viewing to see if they discussed,
absolutely.
you know, what the best method for this was.
Yeah, for sure. Corey on the slab there. Making severe use of that sort of upside down. It's almost like a little puppy nose, as Glenn called it while he was setting his boulder with James. Yeah, it's kind of like a little button type thing.
Yeah.
That you're able to sort of pinch and balance your weight a bit. But unfortunately, no progress from Corey there.
And it is one of those holds that you have to want the top. You know, it's a bit Crosley, it's a bit upside down, and you just have to want to do the boulder.
Nothing is, you know, particularly comfortable about competition level boulders. It's like you got to really prove your mettle.
Sarah, very close.
Super close, just tickling that little screw on.
A really powerful climber, and I think she'll be wanting to do well on this boulder.
Definitely capable.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see, just needs to nail that movement.
Corey, a competitor who I know has done a lot of work on his head game, and we saw it in the qualification round yesterday. He just started composed and was calm the entire round. You know, finished with, I think, his best qualifying result ever.
I think so.
Yeah, and he's looking, he's showing us why. Sarah back into the roof.
Sarah making, thought she was going to go for like a bit of a momentum.
Yeah, there, and that's what you need to make this boulder.
She's opting to sort of try and use her feet and climb it a bit more statically now.
Corey taking the zone.
Taking the zone, moving on to the next really balancy, delicate part of the boulder.
And you can't really see the depth, but each of those little dishes, the black dishes, has sort of a top and a bottom. So that hold that he's putting his foot on also has a bit of a lip blocking it. Just to make this climb a little bit riskier. Apparently Gumby's
Come on, Sarah.
is one of the people commenting, just to be clear. Says a zone on F3 is going to be worth a lot, and I think you're right. It does look like...
Is this a sneaky little... I thought she was going for a figure four.
So she's gone with the lead with the feet.
Leading with the feet. Not quite able to transfer
And just out of time.
over to her feet.
Looking like
Sarah,
her finger's a bit...
Yeah, reportedly she's dealing with a bit of a injury at the moment. I'm not sure if it's a finger injury. So probably doesn't want to like overcommit to anything too like fingery. Hopefully she's not hurt.
Good question, Dylan. So Dylan said, does the zone count if you stand on it, or is it only the hand? So it's only if you take the zone with your hand. So you can't kick at it, and you do have to use it to move through the boulder. So you can't just slap that zone and fall off.
Yeah. So for example, here, Corey is currently putting his foot on the zone piece, but he would not be awarded the zone yet if this was his first attempt to it. So he has to actually grab that with his hand and shift his weight.
So he's after time here. And looking, this is awesome.
I believe he might be out of time at this point.
Yeah, his 4 minutes is done. So this is his last attempt.
I'm sweating.
I can't remember. He got the zone on the second boulder. Is that right? And the zone on the first?
That's a good question. So Corey, I believe, had received zones on the first two. That is right.
Yeah. So a top here would be massive.
It looks like he's in such a comfortable position here. You almost think he's just like walking, right?
Yeah. But the way...
It's really hard to translate like how tenuous and like delicate this position is.
Yeah. And you're pulling with your right hand and you're pushing with your left foot, and your entire core, your entire torso is just like, is so engaged.
Oh no! Oh my god. And that is why I love slab climbing.
And we saw there just that explosion of like tension from the foot, from the hand. We're hearing from Lulu, Sarah's dealing with a left ringer A4 pulley injury. So not great news for Sarah.
Yeah.
But hopefully doesn't hold her up too much in this last boulder.
So camping in a roof is probably not what you want to be doing. But
no.
Knowing Sarah, she's hungry. She'll want to do well.
Yeah.
So I hope she doesn't push herself too hard. But we do appreciate her giving her best on the boulders. Next up, we should see Jesse Ruffini coming out for the slab. We'll have Jess Penner on the roof boulder and Nick Rezzi. We've got Argo. Argo's still on the wall. So
possibly there was a technical issue with the GI boulder, and they would have just started Argo's time.
Right.
So I think Argo will probably have 4 minutes on this boulder. The way they've been climbing in the rest of this round, would imagine they'll make fairly short work of this, but we'll wait and see.
They're looking quite confident on these moves here.
Quite strong.
Argo's a very slow climber. Regularly see them sort of climbing around the gym. And just has to figure out these bumping.
Ooh. So I think that's the highest we've seen anybody on this boulder.
Yeah, I'd say so. And there we can see, so Argo is on their own 4-minute timer here. So we'll stick with Argo for the next 3 minutes and hope that they can nab the top here, which would be probably quite valuable for them, actually. I believe they're currently
have a look at
in a tie. If we can sneak a peek at the scores here in our studio.
So things are really close.
Things are quite tight for the gender inclusive category, with 3 competitors with 2 tops and 2 zones in flashes. So Argo could really use this top here. And they're looking quite strong and confident through here. Oh, nice technical heel. Just has to bump that foot up and looks like they're losing a bit of juice. Oh no, that's so close. Definitely capable. Just has to, take
loads of time.
Take the time, sit down, have a rest. It's purely mental from this point on, right?
Yeah, and we'd love to see Argo keep composed. So it can be, being the only one on the wall in front of this crowd, really nerve-wracking. Great work there from our brushes. Very enthusiastic, keeping everything clean. So hopefully Argo has the power.
Argo going for quite a soon attempt, so hopefully they've got some gas in the tank. Oh, just looking a bit flat.
And I think Argo's first final. So regardless of how they finish, they've done really well, but we'll hopefully see them take a bit of a rest here.
First ever Boulderfest as well.
First ever Boulder. Oh, well, that's cool.
Super exciting.
Oh, massive congratulations to Argo.
What's up, Rich? Glad to see you tuning in. Very excited to have you in Brisbane with the family. Super excited to see you in the gym soon.
I think if they just moved back from the UK.
They have, yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Hanging out with the fam in hotel quarantine at the moment.
Argo loving this. They're having a great time.
There must be some bangers playing out in the gym.
Imagine whatever your favorite. Yeah. Argo at the disco.
Come on, Argo. Hopefully they've managed to recover just a bit of juice to get through that next section. They were climbing it so well, making use of heels and compression.
And each of these right-hand kind of dog bones, they get better. So Argo is on the best of those 3 dog bones at the moment.
Slams the heel in.
Oh, look at
comes
that.
in,
Beautiful climbing.
just has to get through this last section. Props the foot up.
Come on, Argo. Oh, and just out of gas.
Just a bit of juice lacking. Such a great effort from Argo there. Oh, tight round. Absolutely tight round. Rich, you did ask how long are the problems left up after the comp. The finals boulders will be up for probably, I'd say, a few weeks. And the Pump Fest boulders throughout the gym will probably start rotating out sort of in our regular setting rotation, probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I would say. So hopefully you're out of hotel quarantine by then, and you can have a crack. Okay, so that was the end of Argo's technical round. So next up, we should see 3 competitors come back out. So there'll be Jesse Ruffini, Jess Penner, and Nick Rezzi for their respective boulders. Almost towards the end of this 3rd round. Lots of action so far. I know Blake Stringer is very happy right now because him and I had a bit of a sneaky bet going.
Is that right?
That no one would flash the slab boulder.
Ah.
So I owe him a chicken burger.
You owe him a chicken burger?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Which, I mean, I don't really mind. I'll take that.
All right, I'm going to try something on camera, which I've always wanted to do. If anyone can hear this. Possibly one of the most satisfying noises.
Can you pass me one as well?
Yeah, sure. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
That looks so staged. That was.
We were not paid or asked to do that specifically on camera. All right, we're into it. We've got Jess Penner coming off the roof there, shaking the hand a little bit. Really curious to see how Jess Penner goes on this roof boulder. Quite a strong, powerful climber as well. Curious to see how the other 2 competitors are going. There we go. We've got Nick just about to start their attempt. And Jesse's through to the zone here. Gets a little bit ahead of himself and comes off.
Jess somehow facing back.
Oh my God, what is happening here?
That was so strong.
So Jess is taking the zone there. That is the zone feature.
Is that long rail?
Yeah, the long rail that's blocked off there. So Jess, first competitor to reach the zone for this boulder. Nick fighting their way so close to the top. Goes for the top roll. That is the first top.
On GI3.
For GI3, fantastic work.
And Jess perplexed. It doesn't look like this female boulder lets up at all.
It does not let up. There's so many volumes, so many different edges. Yeah, it's quite a complex, roof power boulder. Very exciting to see Jess get that far, though. She did completely miss. There's a volume sort of just down and left of where she was slapping there with a little screw on it as well. So I believe it's quite sequence dependent at that point. But the top part, I mean, knowing Jess, if she can get through that roof, she definitely can do the top section of that climb. Jesse looking a little bit more.
Oh, good fight.
Almost spoke too soon. Looking
just
a
power
bit more
there.
solid, just using his raw strength to pull himself back onto the slab.
Nearly the commentator's curse there from Pat Bender, and he is looking frustrated. Jess back in the roof. And it looks like a lot of beans from that first attempt.
Maybe a bean burrito from the West End Cafe.
Yeah.
Before the round. That was a shameless plug.
Yeah.
Common ground. Bean burritos.
We're getting the timer up intermittently. We don't have it set, unfortunately. There we go. About a minute to go.
We're getting a lot of requests for like chugging beers, which is a little bit broy. I'm actually terrible at chugging beer, so I'm not even going to attempt.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
But this one is for you, Alyssa.
There you go.
That was just me trying to squeeze a can closed. Pat
Pinch Bander. Jesse back on the slab.
Pat on the beers bander.
So Jess back in the room.
And Jesse making a little bit more progress here.
Now this last move is not over.
Very delicate stand up into the slide corner feature. And Jesse manages to save it and get the top.
Really well done. And he's loving it.
And he's stoked.
He's McLoving it.
Just to be clear, we're not sponsored. I'm not even going to say the brand.
No.
Yeah. 12 seconds left on the clock. And we've got Jess just being pulled off for an invalid start there. 5 seconds left.
4, 3,
She pulls
2.
back on.
And the right call from the judge, I think. So she didn't have all 4 limbs in the correct place. And the judge picked that up really fast.
And just struggling to make that sequence work for her again. Oh, all right. What an exciting round that was.
We have one
first zone on the females bowler, which is very exciting, with one more competitor to come out, Lucy Sterling.
Yep.
We had Nick topping the gender inclusive bowler.
First top on that bowler. That was really impressive.
Fantastic. And that would have been an important top for Nick as well.
Yep.
And Jesse getting up the slab.
Big
Fantastic work. So last round of competitors now for this round, and then we're on to our final bowler. So we've got Sam Bowman coming out, Lucy Sterling, and Melanie McAuliffe. God, I hope I'm saying that right.
I reckon you're nailing it.
Awesome.
And here they are. So Lucy just checking out the roof. Really seasoned competitor, just going through the boulder, making sure she knows where everything is. She's established. And our other competitors, so Sam Bowman on the wall and Mel on GI3. Just like Mel cruising to the zone. Lucy, I'm really intrigued to see what her method is here. So she needs to... Oh, great work from Mel.
Sam just going for a leisurely stroll up the slab. Meanwhile, Lucy is just like cruising through a roof. She's taking the zone there. And
Mel fighting for the top. 2 hands, so that'll count. Great work.
Lovely top there from Mel.
GI4 is going to be a spicy time. We have, I think, 2 competitors with 3 tops now, so that'll be really exciting to watch. Sam with the zone. Lucy also with the zone.
Lucy looking very confident. She's definitely scoped out all the little jibs and screw-ons and features of this climb. And she's in her element. This is just like long, pumpy power climbing, which is, just Lucy's forte, really.
Yeah, a great boulderer, but a really talented lead climber also.
Absolutely.
And so these long boulders just suit her to a T.
Currently projecting, I believe, Shaitan Subzi.
Yeah.
At Mankalum, which is a 32.
And with the top.
And with the top there. Huge smile. Just McLovin life. Sam looking very delicate. Managed to get the top there. I think that's another flash, so I may owe Blake 2 burgers. I'm not sure how the bet worked.
Yeah, I'm not sure what your rules were.
Probably just going to do a run for it.
And that's the end of our third round. So maybe if we can check out the scores, we can get them up on screen.
Hello.
Nobody wants to see us.
No one wants to see us. And these are navy blue.
There we go. So our female results. So Lucy, 3 tops, 3 zones, 4 attempts. Izzy, 2 tops, 2 zones. Liz, 2 tops, 2 zones. So really close run for second.
Absolutely.
And then Flora, Jess, and Sarah each. Flora with the top, Jess and Sarah with 2 zones. So Lucy looking great for the female field. Yeah,
absolutely.
I can't do 2 things at once. Sam Bowman again looking really comfortable at the top, but Sam Lavender and Jesse Raffini both close behind. Satoshi, did he get? No, he didn't get the zone, did he? So that is
really
up to date.
With the slab.
Yeah. Corey Batten, 3 zones. Matty C, just the 1 zone. So again, a big fight on Boulder 4 for that podium.
Is that the right one?
No, GI.
GI. Still learning how to use an iPad.
And there we go. The top of our GI field, equally close. So Mel McAuliffe, 3 flashes. Fantastic effort. Nick Resi, 3 top 3 zones. Just the 1 attempt separating them. Argo Theo Harris, as we saw, just not quite able, or Corey, to take the top on that last boulder. So into Boulder 4. I think there's a lot up. a lot up for grabs.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Boulder 4, definitely still a fight for, I guess, some positions in some categories.
I guess
very
looking at the men's results, Sam's gotten a time trouble top. How are you feeling about the field, Pat?
I mean, it's great to see he's got the time travel. Sam has somehow already finished the round. If we can cut back to the competition just so we can make sure that we don't miss anything. I mean, currently as a route setter, you'd be pretty happy to have a nice clear separation.
Yeah.
So that's always good. It's, terrible to see, all climbers get nothing or everyone just walking up stuff. So definitely I think the route setters are going to be quite happy that, we've had different competitors do different boulders and different attempts. Some, making light work of certain boulders and really struggling on others. So,
yeah, displaying their strengths really well, I think.
Absolutely.
We're seeing different styles and, how the climbers perform. Oh, really cool fluoro down climb jogs there.
Crazy light show
That's
going
awesome.
on in the gym. I had no idea this was happening.
Getting towards the end of our K2 live stream, so just the 1 boulder remaining and lots of action to come. This boulder will decide our podiums, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Thank you once again for tuning in to the live stream presented by K2. And this is the Boulderfest 2021 finals round. Once again, massive shout out to our sponsors. There are so many awesome ones. Wayward Brewing Company, keeping us nice and happy on the couch here. We've got Scarpa, fantastic shoe and climbing company. Rock Therapy Brisbane, just the kings of rehab. And we've also got Pinnacle Sports, Black Diamond, Cliff Bar, Scent, and Climbing Anchors as well. So once again, thank you to all companies and people who support us, make these events run. Thank you so much for watching the live stream. You guys obviously make all this worth it. So we hope you're enjoying it. We're into the 4th round here. And Al, you can tell us a bit about what we're sort of expecting to see from this round. This is the last round of boulders.
Yeah, so I believe, talking to the setting team, this has kind of been christened Dynamic Round. So a bit of dynamic movement for all the categories. So the men's boulder on the left, this crazy swing, sort of jump into a ninja kick. The GI boulder, which we saw B get really close on just then. Again, another run into like a ninja kick. And then whatever the F4 is, it looks like some sort of tobinator or flagpole or something. Flora really tall.
Making
really
use
strong.
of her crazy wingspan there.
Yeah, she famously has, I think, a 2-meter span.
Oh my gosh.
Or close to. Please forgive me if I've
it's long.
gotten that wrong.
Let's just say it's very long.
B has stuck the jump and moving towards the top.
Well done, B.
Oh, come on, B. Find it.
Finish that press there.
And
B's
they will be
got the top.
stoked. Look at that.
Super stoked. Nice little fist shake. And clearly very happy to end the comp on a high note for B.
Yeah.
Well done.
I know the nerves were really high, so they'll be psyched on that effort.
Absolutely, yeah. So Flora seems to have been finding like a bit of a bypass to what you mentioned was a turbinator sort of move. So as her body comes around the corner, Matt just trying to do some crazy sort of bypass beta there. So the girls, I guess, are expected to jump into this jug and palm down on that big dish. But Flora's obviously finding a bit of like a lengthy way to reach through it. So interesting to see how that plays out for her.
I think what's really interesting with this method is she can take the jug with the toe hook still in, but then her body is so stretched to the right. And you can't tell from this angle, but her toe hook is around a corner. So as she releases the toe hook, the swing is huge.
It's a lot of momentum to sort of carry, And Flora just getting pulled off there for a slight technical invalid start. Has to match that first dish.
So we can see just that huge,
And then,
lots of power.
Just commits to the 2 hands on the jug.
Yeah.
And Matt here for the guys, I guess I can speak a bit to this bowler. It is actually intended to be a huge jump to the right here. And there is a bit of a risky, I mean, we worked pretty hard on it. There's a bit of a risky cut through straight up through there. But I guess the gamble is that if you go this way, you're definitely not getting a zone.
No.
And it's insanely hard. And I mean, I didn't see anyone during testing being able to do it.
No.
So we don't actually know for a fact that it goes.
We tried really hard today, and I'm assuming during the week, to mitigate that breakthrough. So anyone who managed to go that way, fair play to them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you can pull that off, it's like just have it. Like, well done to you. Matt, definitely probably best known for, I mean, like just being an insanely powerful climber. This jumpy move is like quite different to other jumps, I would say, that we've seen. I mean, certainly in the Queensland comps. But it's a little bit of a weird sort of coordination move where you have to use both those red holds to swing your body back. And then almost in one motion, you have to match both hands on the right hand feature and coordinate yourself onto that starting foot feature, launch yourself across, catch a big undercling feature and just kick that big volume. So there's a lot going on. And I mean, I'll be perfectly honest with the spectators here. This boulder is a gamble.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think every year we sort of at least try and do like one thing that's like, well, we've never done that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it works.
It'll either be sick or
it could be amazing. It could be really boring to watch because no one's going to do it. So
high risk, high reward.
I'm really excited to see what happens with the men's coordination jump there.
So Flora, with that top, moves into second place. Obviously, we have the rest of the field to climb this fourth female's boulder. Matt finishing just with the one zone, so I'm sure he'll be fine with that. Obviously, a bit frustrated, but climbed really well yesterday, really well tonight. And our GI, B. Maloney, up into third currently, but obviously with the rest of the field to come, so we'll see what happens there.
Here we see Sam Lavender, Corey Wakefield, and Liz Cuskelly up on their dynamic round. Oh, Sam just trying to sort of almost cut that coordination move in half by staticking the sort of first part of it and just sort of throwing himself to the undercling. So,
and Corey giving it some Vegemite on the GI4. I think what this shot doesn't show is just how steep M4 is. So the amount that the climbers' bodies are pushed out from the wall.
Sam just getting super close to that move. He's touched it now. He knows it's there. And Liz just trying to find the way to position her hands there to bring her weight across.
So lots of action right now.
Yeah. So much risk happening on the wall.
Sam, I think, realizing he needs the momentum, he needs the speed of that swing to get the distance. Liz trying a sort of static. Oh, that was cool. So she managed to release the toe hook without boundary around that arete, without spinning off. And Corey just working to the top of GI4. So, that's a great shot. Just matching the zone, moving into this press.
Corey looking good here. Would not want to drop this top now.
No. Things really tight in this GI field, and great top. Really good climbing all night from Corey. Liz,
Liz
close.
Just going for it. I think she's now had a taste.
Yeah.
And she knows she's just got to really nail that move.
Yeah, she's felt that catching hold.
Absolutely.
The adrenaline will be high this late in the round.
Sam, just getting the distance and the travel and the points are connecting, just has to find the right sort of the motion.
Yeah, we're having a bit of a few comments about the setting.
Some interesting questions.
Yeah. Do the setters have to be able to do the moves? How do you know if people can climb your route if you can't? Often the setters will do the moves, but possibly individually. So they might climb up into the sequence and just try the individual moves. And then it is just a bit of knowledge and a bit of a gamble occasionally as to whether in 4 minutes the climbers will be able to put this together. So yeah, really talented setting team.
Oh, Liz just making good use of her like insane core strength.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Bring her foot through. And Sam getting hungry for this jump.
But as Pat was saying, this red swing was a bit of a gamble.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, it's a really interesting topic, which I mean, we can probably talk about for hours, right? But, often route setters have to work and climb on these climbs for much longer periods than the competitors have to climb on them. So, it's a really tough balancing act of trying to find the right difficulty of, that's going to be challenging for them, but it's going to be achievable, but they only have a certain amount of time to do it. Sam Lavender trying to get creative there, finding another way through. But yeah, I mean, at the top level of competition, it really comes down to, you got to really know the athletes. You got to know the field. You got to know sort of, oh my God,
that was close.
Painfully close. Liz is on her plus time here. She needs to stick this move.
Yeah, not quite for Liz.
Sadly, no top for Liz.
But she looks happy. She looks like she's left it all out there, and you can't ask much more.
Absolutely. I forgot what I was saying.
We're talking about, setting, I suppose harder or in a different circumstance, setting competitions.
So, I guess the important thing to note is that as setters, you have to know your field really well. You have to exercise really sort of, the best climbing empathy that you can muster. So you got to really try and think of how the competitors are going to experience the boulders.
Yeah.
And how they're going to interact with them. Because, I mean, you might work on a boulder for 8 to 10 hours, for example, for a finals round. And, all the intricacies of it. And then these competitors have to come out in 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And do it.
With a crowd, with the pressure of a competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. Now, I know Satoshi, we're all really excited to see on this boulder. This is very much what we see him doing on the regular in the gym. This crazy swinging. So hopefully we'll see him give this a good crack.
One thing's for sure is that we're going to see Satoshi flying across the screen a lot.
Yeah. He never leaves anything in the tank.
And so interesting. He's finding that sort of like two-hand swing back into the wall. But he's sort of matching his hands before he goes into that swing. So that could be a possible solution to it. I'm not going to lie. It was a very intricate move to sort of try and figure out.
Yeah. I mean, and there are things you can do as a setter. So you can try with, sometimes you'll try with a better catching hold on these sorts of moves. Or, you'll make adjustments and then you just have to, I can't think of the word, I guess assume based on your knowledge of the field and your knowledge of your own abilities, what that might feel like for the competitors.
Yeah.
And Izzy, just sliding off. That is a really good catching hold, but it's so sideways.
Yeah. Just it's a huge jug tilted, quite sideways. So it's got a lot of purchase, but I think the palm down on that dish underneath her is going to give her just enough opposition to slow her turning around the arete.
Oh, strong for Izzy.
Isabel sticking the dyno there. Just has to finish off.
And she hasn't taken the zone. Oh, there we go. So nearly a bit of a gamble.
Claire just working their way up through the second half of the boulder here. Oh, just got to stick that palm. And they
top for Claire.
Fantastic work.
Isabel finding this position, trying to find this position at the top of F4.
What a strenuous double palm there.
And there is very little on that top hold. It is upside down.
Just has to not rush it here.
Yeah. And doesn't.
Fantastic.
Really well done.
Great climbing there by Isabel.
Oh,
Satoshi
flying.
flying across.
So just over a minute left. So I think one thing's for sure, this is the 4th round. We won't see any climbers, holding anything back. They'll leave all their skin, they'll leave all their power out there.
Absolutely. There's nothing else to save your energy for,
Yeah.
so just go all out. Gambare Satoshi-san. Let's see if Satoshi can figure this out.
Oh, so close. And almost landing on his, nearly doing a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll.
I'm surprised you know that reference.
Sorry, Granddad.
Well, I'm just saying, like, Nintendo 64, I don't know.
Satoshi back on. Let's see him give it some beans.
If Sato can't do this dyno, I'd like to see the guy who can, says Michael Hanau. Well, hopefully, yeah. Hopefully we will too.
So Satoshi probably his last attempt on this boulder and in this event. So hopefully gives it everything. Hasn't established yet, I don't believe.
No, that was actually an invalid start, which it looks like maybe the judge had missed. Just failed to match both feet on the starting volume here, but somehow, wow. Just went for a last-ditch effort on that cut-through fader. I'm not sweating. You're sweating.
Yeah, I'm not stressed. So halfway through our 4th boulder, our gender-inclusive Corey Wakefield provisionally in 1st with 3 tops, 4 zones. Obviously with, there we go. Look at that. Mel McAuliffe and Nick Resi still to come, who could... any of our competitors actually, I believe, are in contention for 1st.
Could be, yeah.
So really close for our GI field. In our men's results,
What we got?
Sam Bowman. We haven't seen a zone on this boulder. So results as per the first 3. So Sam Bowman, Sam Lavender, Jesse Raffini. Jesse and Sam obviously still to come. But Sam Bowman looking quite good. And we see our next competitors out.
We got Argo on the gender inclusive jump. Got Corey Batten eyeing up the swing move into the undercling. And Sarah Reynolds coming up on the palm down move. So probably not too fingery a boulder for Sarah. So hopefully her hand should be okay to deal with the holds on this. Just a bit more like powery open-handedness. So keen to see Sarah make her way up this boulder. Corey giving it
a lot of swing.
A lot of swing to get over to that undercling. Holy moly. And Argo just latching the jug, but not quite in the right spot. So
those holds on GI4 are new fiberglass from a company called Squadra. Another of our climb hold sponsored holds. And
fantastic shapes, really comfy.
That hold he's going for, as you can see, really precise pocket, and the entire outside is no texture. So if you don't hit that middle of the hold, that jug, which Argo nails, really hard to hold on.
Beautiful work there by Argo.
Corey checking the time, having a laugh.
So much action happening right now. It's just Argo killing it.
And
I love Argo.
Argo, great person. Look at that.
And did the whole final in a beanie, which is like the most bouldery thing you can do, right?
And that looks like sight from Argo. That's just Argo's everyday energy. That's how they're in the gym every day. Corey.
Come on, Corey.
Big swing. No ding yet.
No ling. All swing.
Argo moving into provisional 1st with that great attempt.
Just a few fewer attempts on boulders compared to Corey.
And Sarah understanding the move, but I think, I don't know, maybe just probably a little bit tired. It's been a long weekend for these competitors and a really hard move. So only 2 competitors to go after this. So Argo has definitely secured a podium. It'll just be up to Mel and Nick to see what that final medal is. Sarah's sticking the first move.
She's through. Just has to not rush this.
Now is she taking the zone?
Not yet, I believe.
So she hasn't touched that zone volume, which is the small
spear
that her foot's on.
Quite a bit of a gamble going on here for Sarah. If she drops this, she still won't have any points allocated from this boulder. So, yeah, risky business palming to the right and sort of going up this way. You would think the zone being labeled on the left would be kind of like almost like a giveaway for the competitor, but
yeah, that you should head that way.
Oh, Sarah just in a very
no!
She's dropped the top and not been awarded the zone. I
don't believe she'll get the zone.
I don't think she will.
So hopefully she can get up there again.
Corey not able to evolve into his next level. I can't remember Pokemon terms.
I didn't know Pikachu evolved, so.
Excuse me, Raichu. Come on, dude.
So both of our competitors on the wall. Their last attempt.
Corey clearly hasn't found the Thunderstone yet. Yes,
boom.
Nailed it. Boom.
Had it both ways.
No.
And so both competitors taking the time. Sarah just a bit gassed. So unfortunately, she won't get the zone.
Unfortunately.
Corey wants the height.
Let's see if he can deliver on the hype.
Look at that swing. He's going into next week. And close.
Sadly, no zone for Corey on men's 4. And just a devastating drop of the top for Sarah.
That was, heartbreak.
Such drama. It's like Downton Abbey up in here. Ooh, let us know how you guys are feeling out there.
Yeah, we're stressed in here.
We're loving it. Ooh, oh boy, I need a few more of these.
So moving into, we have 3 competitors remaining.
We have two more rounds.
Very exciting.
We've got Jesse Raffini coming out for the men. We've got Jess Penner coming out for the women.
Yeah.
And Nick Rezzi for the gender inclusive. So 2 more rounds of competitors.
For anyone keeping track of the scores, I believe Lucy Sterling cannot be overtaken.
So Lucy's looking like
I think Lucy is our champ. Hopefully we see Jess give it everything though.
Oh,
great work from Nick on the jump.
Nick just killing it with the jump across. And as we were saying, this was still quite attempt focused. So I believe that flash may have put them in possibly in first place. Is that right? We'll have a sneaky little look here behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think Nick will move up into first.
Nick may have moved into first place with that flash of that bowler. So congratulations to Nick.
Still with Mel to come though, so
that's true.
Everything's still in line.
So temporary congratulations.
Yeah, provisional congratulations.
Provisional.
We love your effort either way.
Pro-con.
A really complex move on M4. As Pat was saying, it was a gamble, and we'd love to see someone do this move, but if not, just great to see these competitors try something they haven't tried before.
I mean, that's the game as well. As route setters, you're always looking to challenge them in different ways. Because I mean, these people climb every day, all the time.
Yeah.
They watch World Cups. They compete in World Cups.
Yeah.
They're exposed to so many different moves and styles of climbing that you constantly have to find a way to test. Or what are you capable of improvising? What are you capable of figuring out that you haven't seen in like an Instagram video or a IFSC World Cup or something like that?
Yeah, so, and what haven't you done in the gym,
Exactly, yeah, definitely.
And these climbers, their movement and their strength is progressing so fast that, asking them to do something new and in this format, under this pressure, is big.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we'll hopefully see. Oh,
Just way too slow and static for Jesse there.
yeah.
Yeah. From experience, this move requires so much energy moving in towards the wall to get your weight sort of in and underneath that big undercling. And the frustrating thing is that even if no one does this right now, after this stream, those guys will probably like jump back on and spend like
Hours.
5 to 10. I would say like 5 to 10 more minutes.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the pressure of the competition.
Yeah.
And you get like tunnel vision into like, this is the method, this is what I have to do.
Yeah.
Physically, it's definitely possible. But yeah, it is a gamble. Let's see it. Big dog, Jesse Ruffini.
Oh. And he's
nearly sending himself back into F1.
Yeah. He says, I don't like this swing anymore. I want to go try that green boulder. that looks like fun.
That green boulder looks pretty sick.
Jess, looking like she's just not quite giving it enough power on this jump.
Yeah. Possibly hesitating a bit or just not reading this sort of palm down move. Trying to do it a much more, I guess, like simple way of just like, just get me to the jug.
Yeah.
I'll latch it and just hold the swing.
Jesse getting the hype.
Looks like he's having a bit of fun out there, which is always good.
Yeah, he loves the crowd.
Yeah. That's time up. So this is last ditch attempt for both our competitors.
And the crowd loves Jesse, so they'll want to top. Oh, and that was probably his best shot, yeah.
Probably the best one, yeah.
So he's learnt something in that 4 minutes, and unfortunately just running out of time to execute. Jess has her palm. So where her right palm is, you can't see it.
She's almost lashed it there. Oh, you can see the God in her face.
So there is a tiny jib where her right palm is, a little screw on.
Yeah.
And I think she just didn't find it until that attempt.
Yeah, just a little extra something to help you sort of bring your weight over and around the arete. Yeah, it's all these little intricacies that can help like make a move like possible or like just like not feel natural at all. So,
and if you're coming to try these boulders after this round, they are staying up. Try it with a stopwatch. Try it with 4 minutes. The pressure that it brings is huge, and it's such a great experience. Have your own finals. It's one of the best things you can do. It's so much fun.
It's a good test. Having like 4 minutes to try something completely new, and then resting for. I mean, I guess you can do the 5 on 5 off method, or in this case, maybe it's like a 20-minute rest, 30 minutes, or something like that. It's an immense amount of pressure.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it's super impressive to see these people come out and actually be able to get off stuff. But yeah, by all means, come in, have a play on these, see how you stack up, and if you manage to stick this red swingling, hit me up.
Send videos, post videos.
Please post videos.
Okay, so our final competitors. Sam Bowman. I think he's in first. I think he's won this event also.
If Sam flashes this, I will be contacting the manager. Okay.
Lucy establishing.
There we go. Sam instantly going for the inward swing.
Oh, he's got it!
And he's just read that so well. The man's knowledge of movement
is
just ridiculous.
And Sam Bowman.
And he just made it look like it's an actual red. Like, come on.
Oh.
Holy moly.
4 tops.
Guacamole.
Sam Bowman is your 2021 Boulderfest men's champion.
Sam Bowman is Mewtwo. You don't. The Pokemon people out there. We've had like a Pokemon theme throughout the night.
Pat's giving me the dirtiest look.
Lucy sticking the palm down jump.
Oh,
Let's see if she can square this away. I believe we've seen the top from Melanie already.
I think so, yeah.
Oh my God, there's so much going on. My heart rate is just like jacked.
I can't deal. Yeah, Mel has topped, and Mel equally in first. So well done, Mel. Super tight at the top of that gender inclusive
round
field.
from Melanie. 4 tops and 4 zones in 5 attempts. So 1 drop throughout the whole comp.
And Lucy finding the position, a top in 2, I think.
Taking her championship.
And she knows it.
Style.
She's done this a lot. She'll know exactly where she's sitting, and she's stoked. And that's lovely. Sarah running up.
That's just great competitive, spirit.
Yeah.
So good to see that, all these competitors are still so supportive of each other and so happy to see each other succeed. So, holy hell.
Cool. Well, that was a time and a half. I hope you guys had as much fun as we did.
Sam needs to be nerfed is what we're seeing on the comments. He definitely seems a little bit OP.
Yeah.
I guess he's just been farming dynamic moves or something. Any of these gaming terminology things doing anything for you?
No, not really. No.
I know what you're on about.
Good effort though. Anyone pre-95? Hope you enjoyed it all.
Pre-95?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or just avid gamers or something. I guess that's it, right? I mean, yeah. What a fantastic round of climbing. I'm speechless. It's poetic. It's fantastic. Let's can we quickly run through the scores on screen to see the final standings? So we'll see if we can bring the scores up here. So we've got Melanie McAuliffe taking the gender inclusive category with 4 tops, 4 zones, and 5 attempts. So very, very solid climbing from Melanie. Nicole Resi in second place with 4 tops and 4 zones in just 1 more attempt.
Yeah, that was huge.
Top. That was nail biting. And then we've got Argo Thea Harris in third place with 3 tops and 4 zones.
And we saw just how close they were on that third boulder.
So close.
So that was
Corey Wakefield taking 4th, B Maloney in 5th, and Clay Groom in 6th.
Got the men's results.
Fantastic climbing for the gender inclusive round.
That was amazing.
Sam Bowman once again taking the championship. I believe it's his 4th time.
I think it's his 4th Boulderfest, maybe 4th straight.
Yeah, 4 tops and 4 zones with 1 drop throughout the round.
So the Brisbane 3-peat, the Bowman 4-peat for you AFL fans out there.
Sam Lavender in second place with 2 tops, 3 zones. Jesse Raffini close behind him with just a few more attempts to top there, 2 tops and 3 zones as well. Satoshi Ogawa in 4th place with 1 top and 2 zones. Very tough round for Corey Batten with no tops, 3 zones, and Matt Cochran with just 1 zone. Whew, that men's field was stacked.
Yeah,
absolutely stacked. And finally, for the women, we've got Lucy Sterling taking out first place with 4 tops and 4 zones. Flora Frost in second place with 2 tops and 3 zones. Isabel Battle with 2 tops and 2 zones. Eliz Katskelly close behind with just 1 attempt more to a zone. So very, very tight there for the podium for Liz and Isabel. And Sarah Reynolds in 5th place with 1 top and 3. And Jess Penn, unfortunately, with no tops and 2 zones. So just an amazing effort by all those climbers throughout the round. You could see they were just giving it everything.
Yeah, and it's great to see them just leave it all on the mat,
Yeah, absolutely. That's what you're
fighting every attempt.
Yeah. So, I mean, from a setting perspective, I don't think I could be happier. I'm sure the setters in the room at the moment are just jumping for joy.
Yeah.
From what we could hear through the walls, the crowd was loving it. I don't know about you, Al.
Yeah.
But I thought that was fantastic.
I thought the show was amazing. Great work to the setting team.
We're getting a couple great sort of comments through the live stream. So we hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. Hopefully we weren't too rowdy and somewhat informative, I guess. I mean, it's all a bit of fun. So thank you again to everyone for tuning in to the live stream of the Boulderfest 2021 Boulderfest.
Pat's loving the raspberry Vitabit.
It's so good. Major sponsors. Thank you very much. K2 for sponsoring the live stream. Wayward Brewing Company, Scarpa, Rock Therapy Brisbane for all your work in helping make this event happen. Pinnacle Sports, Black Diamond, Cliff Bar, St. Chalk, and Climbing Anchors, and Metolius. Thank you all so much. We can't do these events without you. We can't do it without the competitors, the volunteers, all the judges coming to help us like run the finals and stuff like that, all the volunteers in the Pump Fest, scrubbing, all the people who are involved in the social rounds and the team rounds. Thank you so much for making this event happen. We legitimately didn't know if it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we're just so appreciative of everyone being involved. So thank you for tuning in. I think that's about it for us, and we're out of here.
We're out.
We're gonna go party.
Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great night.
I assume we can leave now.
I think so.
Yeah.
We'll
Also,
talk.
I started first climbing when I decided I wanted to work in the outdoors the rest of my life. And I thought this would be a really special thing to do.
I got into climbing because my son kept nagging me to go with all the other preschool mums to this little preschool group they did, and I never wanted to do it. And then one day they were going indoor rock climbing. So I went, and then I didn't stop climbing after that. And then I met some friends and then started going outside, and I'm the only one of the mums that still does it.
I actually got into rock climbing because I'm really scared of heights, and I thought that would be a great way to overcome the fear. And then I kept rock climbing because of all the amazing places it lets you go.
How did I get into climbing? It's been a bit of a journey for me. It was something that I did when I was really young. My dad's a bit of an adventurer. He's done some alpinism stuff and a bit of climbing when he was in his, I guess, 20s to 30s, and he sort of introduced me when I was really young. From there, I had a massive gap in between where I didn't really think about it at all. And then I got introduced to it again by some friends, one of which who I live with now, and it's just kind of become this really beautiful community. So yeah, I'm really happy that I'm part of the climbing community here.
I think it's been about 10 years now. I did first come when I was 7, but didn't really get into the classes until I was 9. And then, yeah, I just like never quit from there. I really enjoyed it. I slowly started phasing out other sports for climbing, and yeah, I just loved it.
My dream destination is Tasmania. I really want to climb the totem pole. It's just very iconic. And when I first started climbing, there was a poster in the gym of Monique Forrester climbing the totem pole. And I just remember thinking that was the most like badass thing I'd ever seen, and I want to do it.
I generally associate like the enjoyment that I have with climbing in a certain location with the people or the experience that I have. I think there are 2 places that spring to mind immediately. One is Upper Slider, just because it's so accessible and so beautiful. Like the climbing there's really nice. It's usually not super crowded, and it's always a beautiful view. And the second would probably be, I guess, probably Owl Pillar. Again, just because it's one of those places that you get there and you're like, wow, like somebody could have drawn this or like written it into a fairy tale. This beautiful piece of rock that's sticking up out of nowhere, surrounded by like incredible forest. So yeah, I'd say they're probably my top 2 picks.
Yeah, dude. So really been training hard for this one. Been trying like lots of different training programs and lots of trial and error. And I think this one's really going well. I've put a lot of emphasis on strength that I haven't had in the past and what I clearly lack. And it's going well, I think. But yeah, I just got to have a good plan on the day, and I think it'll be a good comp.
Yeah, I think so. It'll be my first competition, so I'm a little bit nervous because I've never tried it before, and most of my experience is outside, so we'll see how it goes, but I'm pretty excited for it.
Boulderfest, I'm excited. Like I'm frothing. My first time competing in Boulderfest. I thought it was time that I bit the bullet. I'm going to compete socially, and I'm really excited.
I will be competing in Boulderfest. I'm very fortunate to be in a team with 2 of my favorite people, my housemate Jackson and Rob, who's another amazing friend of mine. We've been climbing together for the last 3 years, and I'm super stoked that we're going to get to climb together. So should be a good experience.
Unfortunately, I'm not competing in Boulderfest this year. I've got a little bit of an injury that I'm nursing, and next year I'll be able to enter the Masters category. So once I rehab my injury, I'm just going to train like crazy, and I'm definitely going to be there to compete with some of the amazing women that are joining Masters category this year.